What's up, everybody? You are tuned in to the Cristal
Ammo.
Podcast, episode 135, Big Energy Monday. Sorry for the late start, people, but we had some things we had to take care of this morning. Life's, and you got to handle business, you know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
we
No.
had to push the podcast back a little further, but hey, man, we're here to grace your presence with the afternoon show. So
Yeah.
buckle the fuck up. No, I'm just playing. No, but buckle up. We got some topics we want to talk about. Before we get into all that, Maul, what's going on, brother?
Oh man, feeling good, bro. Had some acupuncture earlier today, so feeling pretty good, man. How you doing today?
I'm good. Just realized how blind I am in my left eye. You know,
You what?
blind in my left eye.
You're blind in your left eye?
Okay, I'm not technically blind, but you know what I mean. Like my left eye is worse than my right.
Oh, you had a eye appointment or something today?
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
At 1:30. I'm just getting back from it.
mm, 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 mm.
Yeah, it was a struggle on the left side.
That's what happens, brother.
So how was you get old, man? So handle your business, kids, if you're watching.
Yeah, no, no, for real, man. Enjoy your youth, dog. That's all I got. That's all I got to say, man. Enjoy y'all youth, bro. Cause man, your youth is like a blur, bro. Cause when you start hurting, get out of the bed and moving and shit, you be like, damn, it's official. I'm old, bro. I'm getting there, but it's all about how you feel on the inside, though. If you feel young, you feel young. But
Yeah, for
aches
sure.
and pains, them aches and pains, boy, they be creeping, bro.
They really do. But let's talk about the NFL, man. The playoffs are set.
Yes, sir.
Let's get pull this up. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah. So the playoffs are set right now. We all know the Chiefs in the after tonight, last night's game. Detroit is officially the one seed after beating the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Buffalo Bills beating the Broncos since the Broncos beat the Chiefs yesterday. Um, you got the Baltimore Ravens. They are the in the AFC North champions, so they host the Steelers in a pretty much a rematch of last week's game.
Yeah.
And then we got the Houston Texans versus the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the NFC side, you got the Eagles hosting the Green Bay Packers. You got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers hosting the Washington Commanders, and then you got the LA Rams hosting the Minnesota Vikings. Before we ain't really gonna really just break this down till probably Wednesday, but I did want to get your overall feel. How are you feeling about the playoffs? Do you feel good? Do you feel like man? How do you feel?
I feel like we got some pretty good matchups. Like, I would say my least exciting matchup to me will probably be that I know it's probably going to be kind of sacrilegious to say it's probably the Steelers Ravens matchup. I think just the way the Ravens are going and they're heading, I feel like the Ravens should really dominate this matchup. I know in past times that this has been a really tough matchup for Lamar Jackson and those guys, but I think the way everything is going, thankfully Zay Flowers isn't as hurt as we thought he originally was. You know, that was a scary moment for the Baltimore Ravens, but hopefully he has a chance to play. But overall, that'll probably be the one I'm probably least interested to watch. Obviously, you're always excited to watch Lamar, but I'm like whatever with that matchup. And then the Chargers Texans, like it'll be an interesting matchup. I'm curious to see like obviously you got your wish. CJ Stroud and them played a little bit. They must have heard the pod, so they must have heard you. So they played them a little bit, and they look good. They were moving the ball. Nico
Yeah.
Collins was able to get in some rhythm, and they were able to try to maybe get some rhythm for Deontay Johnson, because I'm assuming they'll probably use him a lot in this game,
Right.
especially with all the injuries that they do have. But overall, man, I think overall we got a really good set. I think the one team we were most nervous that might make it is the Miami Dolphins, and they're going through a whole lot of
We'll
drama
get
right
into
now.
we can get into that in a
We'll
little
get into that later. I'm assuming. I'm
bit.
pretty sure you probably put that on the docket.
Yeah.
Um, I'm really excited that we get the Marcus Lattimore and Mike Evans matchup again. You know what I mean? We're going to get that Sunday night, so I'm really
Mhm.
excited for that. I think that'll be a great matchup. Green Bay and Philly. I think it'll be a really good matchup, but I've always said this: Green Bay is missing a starting receiver, and then
Yeah.
obviously with the
Hmm.
terrible news of Christian Watson
Yeah.
tearing his ACL, that
Speedy
sucked.
recovery, man.
They're
Speedy
missing
recovery.
they're missing a weapon, and Jordan Love, he kind of hurt his I think it was his throwing hand or something like
Yeah.
that the other day. So it's not really looking good for the Green Bay Packers going into the playoffs. And from what I heard, Jalen Hurts is still in concussion protocol, but
Yeah.
there's really no rush. I would assume that he'll be off by the time next week gets going, and by the time they really start ramping up for the game and practicing and stuff like that. But the one I'm probably most excited to watch is probably this Minnesota LA Rams game. I think that's going to be a really, really good game. I think in reality, I know I talked mess about the Steelers and Ravens, how I'm not excited to watch it because I think the Ravens are going to dominate that game. But overall, I think we really got a nice slew of matchups. Like, I can't really complain. Like, it shouldn't really be a dull moment for
Hmm.
any of these games. Like, as I said, like, all quarterbacks are healthy. Like, it's not like we have a backup quarterback going into these playoffs. For the most part, most of these teams are healthy, minus the Texans. Obviously,
Hmm.
the Lions aren't playing this week, but they're getting some players back and stuff like that, and then the Christian Watson injury. But for the most part, we're pretty much healthy. We're getting all the starting quarterbacks. We're getting a couple rookies, making their playoff debuts.
Hmm.
Some star-studded quarterbacks with Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts and all these guys, Jaden Daniels. Like, it should be really good. So, it should turn out to be a fun. This is gonna be a really fun week of football. With
Hmm.
obviously you got the college football semifinals Thursday, Friday. We got playoffs Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Should be a really, really amazing 5 days of football. This is when it starts getting really fun, but also depressing because we all know that the season is
Yeah.
winding down.
That's
But
good.
if you're like me, you still got the NBA. I'm trying to get my man into it, but you know what I mean. We'll see how that works. But overall, man, it should be a really, really fun week of football, man. It should be one of the most exciting times of the year for football.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. And I mean, I agree with you with the Ravens and Steelers, but one thing I will say, it is hard to beat your division rival
It is. It
sometimes,
is. Nah, for
and
sure. It is.
it is hard. And
They're
I
1-1
do,
against each other, so this is
yeah,
it's for the
and
marbles.
I do think that even though I think the Steelers are who they are, and they do have their own problems, especially with George Pickens, I do think that they didn't show a lot of stuff, even though these teams know each other, like their division, so they know each other. But I'm sure they got some few wrinkles that they're gonna probably pull out in the playoffs because you ain't got no choice. It's one and done.
Well, I don't want to cut you off too much, but the main thing with the Steelers is there's so much turmoil going within that organization. You got
Mhm.
rumors of Mike Tomlin potentially maybe getting traded. You got George Pickens and Russell Wilson kind of going back and forth
Mhm.
with their thing. You got this defense who's just falling by the wayside. We thought this was the best defense in the NFL, and they don't look nothing like that. And then
No.
now you're going into a divisional, a rival, playoff atmosphere style game going into Baltimore while Lamar Jackson is probably playing his best football we have ever seen him play with
Right.
the best running back we have ever seen him play. Hopefully they have Zay Flowers. You got Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. And this defense is looking like the Ravens defense that we saw last year. So
Mhm.
like all signs are pointing that this should be a route. Like, look, I get it, man. It's going to be a hard hitting game for the most part with what they allow, but I just think the way the Steelers are going into this playoffs, it
Right.
doesn't leave me excited because I'm expecting that this should really be a blowout. This shouldn't even be close.
Yeah, I hear you. No, I agree with you. I feel you. Um, the Texans and Chargers are interesting from a standpoint because, like you said, Texans are dealing with their injuries on the offensive side and their offensive line, and I think this is kind of a bad matchup for them because you
It
got
is.
you got this defensive line that's coming in with Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, and they're the top. I think they're the top scoring defense in the NFL right now. Especially after the Chiefs just pretty much threw out the backups back there yesterday and just let Bo Nix and them do whatever they
Yeah.
wanted.
No,
So
yeah.
they probably took their defensive total down. So
Mhm.
um that's gonna be a intriguing matchup. We're gonna see, can CJ Stroud, can he elevate this team and get them past? They're at home, so you're gonna have a home crowd working for them. But the Chargers are used to that because they always are on the road, even
Yeah.
at home. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So that shouldn't shake them one bit. So it should be a good game, though. I expect a good game. I, I expect Buffalo to win, but I do think that Denver is an intriguing matchup from a defensive standpoint. I do think that they they have some things on that defensive side that could give Buffalo problems, especially with Patrick Surtain. He's gonna lock up whoever on that side, whether it be Keon Coleman or whoever. He locking that dude up. So it's gonna be interesting to see. And this defensive line, they hit, they
I
hit.
hear you. I hear you. But this is Bo Nix. I
No,
get it.
no,
I
no,
get it.
no.
He's
I feel
35.
you.
I get
He's
it.
the
He's
X factor.
35.
He is the X factor.
Yeah.
Bo Nix is the X factor.
But
If Bo Nix goes out here and the Brights are too, and look, if that happens, I won't be surprised. But
mhm.
I do expect this defense to keep them in the game.
I wouldn't be surprised either. Like, yeah, they do got Patrick Surtain, but the Bills got so many weapons, dog. You got two skilled tight ends. You got Keon Coleman, Amari Cooper, Khalil Shakir. We haven't even talked about what's my man's name? That walks with no shoes. Mac Hollins.
Mac
You know,
Hollins,
Mac Hollins has had a decent year. You got James Cook and those two running backs in the back.
yeah.
Like, I get it. Like, yeah, this defense will keep it close a little bit, but I still expect the Buffalo, like you said it, you still expect the Buffalo Bills to win. I would not be surprised if this is a 17-point win style game.
Yeah.
Like I just think Bo Nix is gonna have to play out of it. He's gonna have to play out of his mind. Like they still don't have a top tier wide receiver. I get it. Cortland Sutton, he's a good wide receiver, but I don't think he's like an elite number one.
Mhm.
Their running game has been kind of inconsistent for the most part.
Yeah.
I think they rely on the deep ball. If the deep ball ain't connecting, this Broncos offense really doesn't have too much movement. But
I
I don't know.
agree.
That's just me. That's just me, just kind of like
No,
overly looking at it right now.
I'm not mad at you. The Broncos gonna have to come in here and make this an ugly game.
Yeah, 100%.
They got to make it ugly. They got to make it muggy. It's got to be defense. Try to run the football, which is not like this Buffalo's defense is like vaunted. Like
No,
you can move the ball on this defense, but they're gonna have to they're gonna have to capitalize on opportunities when they get in the red zone.
they're gonna have to get an early lead if they want this defense to
Yeah,
fly. They're gonna have to get the early lead for sure.
they're gonna have to capitalize. You cannot kick field goals.
No,
Not in Orchard Park.
mm-mm,
You cannot
mm-mm.
whatsoever. And you're gonna have to score because if Josh Allen and them get in that red zone, they're scoring.
I'm curious to see what the weather's like. Obviously, we got the whole winter front that's happening right now. Prayers out to anybody that's in serious weather conditions right now. But
Kansas City, they going through it.
yeah. We obviously heard the news about the Chiefs having trouble flying out of Kansas City over the weekend. So I'm very curious to see how the weather impacts a lot of these games. A lot of these games are in the northeast. You know what I mean? So we're gonna really see the elements of the effect of it. Like, I know people earlier today on certain networks are kind of saying that the Bills should be on upset alert with this Denver team. I think, like, yeah, obviously you're always worried about the competition that's up above you. Obviously Denver has earned their right to make it to the playoffs, but
Mhm.
I think in the back of their head they're kind of glad it's the Denver Broncos and not the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
Like, because let's be honest, if that was the Cincinnati Bengal logo going up against the Buffalo Bills, it would be a whole different story and mood on how a lot of people would feel about this game.
I think 99% of the people will be taking the Bengals.
I low key think the Bengals might be low key the favorites, even the way the Buffalo Bills have been playing. And obviously, we all know the Buffalo Bills are the better team, but we all know Joe Burrow and that offense with Jamar Chase and T Higgins, and we will all assume that Chase Brown probably would have been back for the game if he was able to, if they would have made it.
Mhm.
That would have been a scary team. And obviously, I ain't gonna lie, that Cincinnati Bengal defense played really good over the weekend. They did not play that bad.
Obviously not good enough.
Not good.
My man Lou got fired. He at home right now.
Well, let's just say that was probably their best game they played all year. So the
It
defensive side.
wasn't good enough. Mike
Yeah,
Brown was like,
we all
nah.
saw that coming. We all saw that coming, but I'm sure we'll get into the coach's point.
I was
But
actually surprised that they got rid of Lou because yes, the defense was bad, but I don't think it was Lou's fault. I just think that you can't get rid of star key players. You can't get rid of Jesse Bates.
it was really talented. It was really they really didn't have no talent, especially on that back end with those corners. Those corners was fighting for their life for the most
But you
part of the year.
can't get rid of Jesse Bates and think that you're gonna be good.
No, it's true. That's
Jesse
true.
Bates is a star free safety.
Yeah, that is
And
true.
you got to pay those type of guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, or you better be damn good in the draft. And I give it to them. They tried. But Dax Hill just hasn't worked out. Von Bell didn't help work out. They just didn't.
Yeah.
And then on the corners, Cam Britt Taylor, he didn't work out.
Nah.
He has his moments, but I don't think he's a number one. He's a number
Yeah.
two.
Well, the Bengals are kind of in this hard position right now because you got to pay Jamar Chase. You just gave
Mm-hmm.
Burrow some money. You got to figure out if you're going to keep T. Higgins or not. Like, I'm hearing like T. Higgins is going to take less money. Like, I don't know how much less he's going to take. Like, but that ain't happening, bro. Like, T. Higgins has earned every dollar that he potentially could
Oh,
get.
and by
He's
the
definitely going
way,
to see 30 million plus.
by the way, you got a defensive end that led the league in sacks, Trey
That's true.
Hendrickson.
Yep,
You
that's
got
true.
to pay him. He
Yeah,
want
that's
a
true.
re-up.
That's true. So,
What you
nah,
gonna
you're
do?
right. You're 100% correct. So, like, this team is gonna have to hit in the draft. It's just the way it's gonna be, and you're gonna
Yeah.
have to find a couple free agents that are willing to take a little bit less because you're gonna be playing with Joe Burrow, and you're gonna have the opportunity to make the playoffs with this team. This offense is always gonna be good as long as you got Joe Burrow, Brown, and Chase, and obviously you got Brown as the running back. So and
Mhm.
Jamar Chase. So like. Offensively, even if they do lose T. Higgins, it would definitely hurt the offense to a degree, because people can focus even more on Jamar Chase. But you still expect this offense to be really, really good
I
next year.
mean, that's what they got the draft for. You get your wide receiver in the
Yeah,
draft.
there's so many receivers coming out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every year, like it shouldn't be
Yeah.
hard to. It shouldn't really be hard to replace. But
Or you get you one of them tight ends that's coming out this year, and
that's
there
true.
you go. Because he made Gasecki look like a star this year.
Yeah, no,
So
if you can get like a Loveland or
mm,
you know what I mean. But like I would probably say the first round. I think they probably need to focus more on the defensive side because they
of course,
need
of
defensive
course,
help. But
they
you can
need. Yeah,
obviously
they
find
do.
somebody in like the third round or something like that for a
Mhm.
receiver, maybe a tight end. You know what I mean? Like there's so many that's coming out.
Hell, I get on
Um,
the phone with Atlanta and go get Kyle Pitts.
no, yeah,
F
for
it,
real.
F
For
it.
real. I would
Go
if I
get.
would look. You could try calling the Raiders for Michael Mayer. I don't know if they'll be open to it because obviously we all know Brock Bowers is going to be star. But I think Michael Mayer is a really, really good tight end. So
Mhm.
I would say call the Raiders, man. I think they might be open to it depending on the situations obviously that we got going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like see, call the Ravens, see what's up with Isaiah Likely. You know what I mean? Or even Mark Andrews. Like maybe they'll get off on one of those guys after
I don't
after
think
the
they'll
season's
trade to
over.
the Bengals.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll. Yeah, maybe they won't trade to the Bengals. I know it's a little out there, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean. But at the end of the day, if they believe, like, let's just say hypothetically, they believe Mark Andrews is slowing down, and they're not really worried too much about Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Some teams might just say, if they're going to give us top dollar for it, then all right, we'll just take the L on it. You know what I mean? Because we see
Mhm.
the talent that Isaiah Likely is. Obviously, Mark Andrews is still really good, but he's had some injuries in the past, but should be interesting. We got a lot to talk about during the offseason. So
Yeah, for sure. Back to the playoffs though. On the NFC side, I'm intrigued with this Minnesota and LA game because I'm not counting this game because everybody sat out in the Rams game in
yeah,
Seattle game.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they
I'm not
didn't
really
really
worried
care.
about
They
that.
already they were already solidified. They didn't even care who they was playing because they could have played and got to the 3 seed, but they was like, I don't care. But the 3 games prior to that, the defense played really well, but the
100%.
offense wasn't really clicking. Like since the Buffalo Bills game, they
Yeah,
haven't really been on like
yeah.
like that
That just
Buffalo.
means they're due. That just means
Yeah,
this offense is due. So
they
yeah.
better because I know the Vikings, they got that bad taste in their mouth from last night's game. Sam Darnold had his worst game of the season
Mhm.
because he missed several
Easy
touchdowns.
throws to Justin Jefferson. Yeah, he did.
Not just Justin Jefferson, he missed one to Addison,
Yeah,
who was wide open. He missed one to the Naylor kid who hit him with an out and up. Like he was wide open. Like he was just high. He just thought everything was high yesterday. It
we
was
got to
just
give that
like,
to that Detroit defense, though,
oh,
man.
that
They
shout out to
made
Aaron
him.
Glenn.
They
Shout
made
out
him.
to
They
Aaron
made
Glenn.
him scary in that pocket. Like they made
Yeah.
him hear feet. Like they were all over him. And obviously, the Lions getting Anzalone back, the
Yeah.
linebacker, it was
Yeah.
huge. Like you just saw the impact that he has. So
He did. He did. For real, for real. No, shout out to. I'm definitely gonna give credit to Aaron Glenn because he put a hell of a game plan together with the
oh yeah,
doubling that he was doing on Addison and um Jefferson and making Sam Darnold look at Hawk because he threw it to Hawkinson a lot.
yeah, he did.
He had to, he had no choice. So Shout out to Detroit, man. They handled business when they needed to. I was wrong. I thought,
They looked really good. They looked
I thought
really
I,
good
I
yesterday.
thought I thought the
Jamar,
Vikings defense was going to be able to give, and which Goff did throw a couple picks, but still, um, he weathered the storm and he made the throws that he needed to throw. And Jameer Gibbs is a
is
superstar.
Jameer Gibbs the fastest running back you've ever seen?
He's one of them. He's one of
He's
them.
got to be the like that boy. And he
His
had
running
14
style.
points, man. I'm sure some people are kind of mad he didn't do this like the week before for their for their
Yeah,
fantasy
no.
purposes. But boy, like I'm assuming they're getting David Montgomery back in 2 weeks. Like
Yeah.
that's gonna be a scary team, bro. The
Yeah,
Lions,
yeah.
that's a scary team.
Jameer Gibbs. He reminds, and I ain't trying to sound like he reminds me of Jamal Charles a little bit, though his running style is.
Yeah, Jamar Charles. Jamar Charles is nice. He had a really good 5 years or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
He just the way he runs. He hit that hole. He gone.
Yeah, there's no catching him, bro.
Yeah,
There's
there's
no
no
catching
catching
him, bro.
him. He's gone. He is that thing. And then
Like he's so
some
damn fast.
plays.
It's hard for the damn cameraman to keep up
Yeah, I know,
with his
right?
ass. Shit.
And he can catch out of the backfield too. Like
Yeah,
he's a weapon, man.
no, he is.
Like that dude is he could be like a Jamal Charles or a CJ2K type running back. Like those
Mhm.
that type of running back. Like he's a weapon, man.
And they didn't have a they didn't have a David Montgomery to
No.
behind him because it's like he's really not touching the ball a lot with David Montgomery. So you
Hmm.
low key saving him. You know what I mean? It's not like
Hmm.
Jamal Charles where they're getting it like 30
Right.
times and they're
Hmm.
running them into the ground.
Brown,
You know what
right.
I mean? Like Jameer Gibbs is probably getting maybe like 100, 200 rushing attempts, maybe a
Yeah.
little less than that.
He
You know what I
probably
mean?
get what probably like 5 to 7 touches a game, right?
Yeah, like at least running, and then
Yeah.
obviously,
Catching. Yeah, yeah,
certain
yeah.
goal line possessions. But
Hmm.
then obviously he's always the third down back, catching out of backfield. So,
Right.
obviously getting David Montgomery is going to be a plus. I would say if
Of
the Lions
course.
can get a couple more players on that defensive side back, man, I don't know, I don't know who would beat this team the way they're
And
playing.
and and then this Tampa Bay and Washington Commanders matchup is very intriguing. We're going to see Jaden Daniels. If
That
he
might be the
could,
yeah.
if he could duplicate what he did in the regular season, the playoffs are a little bit different. Everything's faster. Everything's more amped up. You know what I'm saying? These coordinators and these coaches, they putting their best plays forward, and it's going to be interesting. Dan Quinn, he's been here before. He's been to a Super Bowl, so. Um, it's going to be interesting to see if he could put this team in position to make some noise and get an upset. You know what I'm saying? Even though I think if we're really thinking about it, Washington Commanders and Tampa Bay are kind of evenly matched. They're really not that far apart from each other. I mean, if you match up, Terry McLaurin and Mike Evans, it's kind of like a wash. You know what I'm
It is. You
saying?
might you might slight Mike Evans just a
Yeah,
little bit
yeah,
higher,
yeah.
just based on
Because
his
I mean,
size.
just the size and
Yeah,
11 straight years of 1,000 yards.
100%. But
you
as far as quarterback play, I'll probably slight more with Jaden Daniels,
Of
just with
course,
consistency
the
factors. Like Baker
upside.
Mayfield has had his ups and downs, but Jaden Daniels is, as far as running game, I think running game is pretty much a wash, especially with Austin Eckler back, playing again. Both defenses are inconsistent, so this could be one of the most entertaining games of the weekend. You know what I mean? I'm not
Mhm.
surprised they have this as a Sunday night game. I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, and then Philly and Green Bay is going to be interesting to see. I mean, like you said, we expect Jalen Hurts to be back from the concussion protocol. Saquon Barkley, these weapons, that defense who's playing, a lot better. And then Green Bay, their defense has actually been playing a lot better, but no Jair Alexander is going to hurt them. And like you said, man, they need a number one wide receiver. In the offseason, I would be on the phone with Miami. Now I know we're gonna get into Tyreek Hill a little bit later, but I'd be on the phone with Miami.
Yeah,
And if not Miami, I'm on the phone with the Jets, and I'm trying to get Devontae Adams back because at least he knows the system, so it won't be no transition.
yeah,
He knows Matt before since he was in it for years.
yeah.
So why not? Like if you're Devontae Adams, why not put yourself in position to go play with Jordan Love?
Yeah, and you're in a position where you're comfortable. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
don't know how much you want to go back to Green
I
Bay and
know
in
it's
that
cold,
environment, but
but still, come on, man. You want to
yeah,
win, right? Like, come on. If you put Devontae Adams on the Green Bay Packers, people are going to look at Green Bay differently.
100%. Nah, 100%. I agree with you. No, I agree. I think a Devontae Adams list should be very, very easy. It should be either the Green Bay Packers, the Washington Commanders, or the Los Angeles Chargers. I think
Mhm.
that's the easiest thing that they could, and it may be an outside chance of maybe like a Baltimore, but for the most part, those should be the three
Mhm.
teams that should be on his list that he should want to go to. Go back to Cali. You're a Cali boy, so you go back to
Right.
Cali. I'm sure he may want his little revenge on the Raiders. You know what I mean? You'll have your opportunity 2 times a year. Green Bay, as you said, he's very familiar with that situation. He's very familiar with that system. Should be very comfortable. And then the Commanders, man, you got a great up and coming quarterback who has shown he can easily be a top 5 quarterback in this league. And you
Mhm.
pair him with Terry McLaurin and Brian Robinson, and let's say they could get
I
upgrade
see.
that defense, they
Yeah,
can easily compete with the Philadelphia Eagles
I
and win
agree.
this division. So, yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, man. But I just think that Green Bay, they're a year away. They're a year away because they just don't have that guy to where
Nah,
it's
nah.
third and 15, and a third and 10, and you gotta have it.
Romeo
everybody know
Dobbs, yeah, yeah,
everybody knows this guy's getting the ball, but he
yeah,
still just makes the play. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like they don't
We
have that guy.
Nah, I low key out of all those guys, I expected more from Romeo Dobbs. I thought he might have
Yeah.
been able to take that jump this
Mhm.
year. Christian
Mhm.
Watson, we all know he's the speed guy, but he just had so many injuries, and
He's
I feel
injured.
bad for him though because his
I
career
do
has
too.
not gone off to a great start as far as
Mm-mm.
staying healthy, and now he has to deal with the knee injury now. So prayers up to him, and hopefully
Right.
speedy recovery and he gets back into it. But it's clear as day that the Green Bay Packers need to look for a wide receiver this offseason. It's the worst kept secret right now.
Yeah, maybe another corner.
Yeah,
Um,
because Jair Alexander is another player that can't stay healthy. You know what I mean? If they had
mhm.
Jair Alexander healthy, what I mean? I might have a little bit different outlook on this
Right.
game. But
Mhm.
I said, we'll talk more about it on Wednesday.
Yeah, for sure. But man, yeah, the playoffs they kick off on Saturday. It's the two AFC
Chargers,
games.
yes, Chargers, Texans first, then the Ravens, Steelers, Ravens, and then Sunday is starts off with the Broncos, Bills, then Eagles, Packers, and then the Commanders and Bucks game, and then Monday night will be the Vikings and Chargers.
Okay, for sure. All right, man. Let's talk about Jimmy Butler, man.
Yeah.
Now, there was a situation with Jimmy Butler. Now we all know Jimmy Butler's been in trade talk rumors all since the off season, probably even since last year, I think.
Yeah.
Um, of him wanting to leave the Heat. Pat Riley has expressed that he has no interest in trading Jimmy Butler. I think he got suspended for a week, didn't
Yeah, yeah. So he got suspended for 7 games after the press conference, and it wasn't from what it was said. It wasn't really so much with it was press conference had something to do with it, but I guess there was other instances throughout the
he?
week where it kind of led them to suspending him conduct detrimental to the team,
Hmm.
and the whole press conference was just kind of like the icing on the cake. So they suspended him for 7 games. They had 1 game at home, and then they got like a 6 game road trip coming up. So it just kind of fit right. And then from the looks of it, it sounds like he's gonna get traded sooner than later.
Hmm.
They have opened up to the idea of him getting traded. Now, obviously, he kind of stated his teams. I know we talked about it a little bit last week, where it was kind of the Mavs, Warriors, and Suns. A lot of people had him linked to the Suns, but um, obviously they're going to have to trade Bradley Beal, and Bradley Beal has a no trade clause, so he's going to have to agree to wherever destination he's going to go to.
Hmm.
I don't believe that's the best fit for that situation. Jimmy Butler is a special mind and a special player that you have to be ready to ingratiate into your organization. No slight to Kevin Durant or Devin Booker or any of those guys that are a part of the Phoenix Suns organization. I just don't think they are suited well for Jimmy Butler and his personality. We kind of saw with KD and Kyrie Irving and James Harden when they were with the Brooklyn Nets, that it just didn't go well. You know what I mean? Like the chemistry didn't match. You know, there were so many problems off the court. It just didn't sit well, and you just didn't have the leader. And then I just don't think Kevin Durant is that kind of a leader as far as vocally, and I don't think Devin Booker is that either. I just don't see the person that's gonna kind of control the situation. Now, if he were to go to the Warriors, I could see that because you got Draymond Green, you got Steph Curry. Those guys aren't going to take it. If he were to go to the Houston Rockets, and Ime Udoka is definitely not playing any of those type of games. He's going to have to fall in line. The Memphis Grizzlies, I could see that because Taylor Jenkins, he's a really, really strong-minded head coach. He's not going to take bullshit. We see him arguing and cussing out players all the single time. Plus, you got John Morant and Jaren Jackson and other players that won't take that as well. So I'm curious to see where he goes. I'm curious to see where they trade him to. Mm-hmm. He said he's open to anywhere now just because he's just completely miserable in Miami.
He's over it.
He's over it. You know what I mean?
Which is crazy to be miserable.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in Miami. You got him and Tyreek Hill. That's I don't want to be here. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Like, hey, anybody in Miami, please let us know. Like, if y'all got like more taxes coming up or what? I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on, but it should be interesting, man. Obviously, the other conversation you got to have with this is with the Heat and their organization. Obviously, they've been built up with this Heat culture where they're just kind of like strong-minded organization that has a certain particular type of way that they want it to be. And, it hasn't, like, obviously they've had a couple finals runs. Obviously, Eric Spoelstra is an amazing head coach, one of the best in the league. But it gets to a point in time where you got to start questioning, is it healthy for their establishment? Because, this happened with LeBron James and ran him out. They got rid of Dwayne Wade, even though there was no hard feelings and he was more towards the end of his career. You got rid of him. Now there's the whole situation with Jimmy Butler and now he's gone. You know what I mean? He's been asking for upgrades to this roster and it hasn't worked out. You got the likes of Jaime Vasquez and Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero. And, the first game that they play without Jimmy Butler, they get blown out by 30 to a Utah Jazz team that's trying to tank. So it's not really a good look in the direction that this team is trying to go to. And it kind of kills this whole Heat mantra a little bit for me. And they're going to have to figure some things out within that organization. Pat Riley is an amazing, amazing president for any NBA team. He obviously is getting older respectfully, but it's just not really a good look for the Miami Heat right now. And them trying to get players to come play for this team. Like it's just not like, because all your superstars are leaving at this particular time. They never stay. And it always seems like they leave on bad terms. You know what I mean? It's never like, it's kind of like, it's just the end of the road type of thing. Like D-Wade wasn't like on bad terms. It was more like, it was more kind of like, it was just the end of the road situation. But they've had more situations where a lot of these superstars just leave on bad terms and, have like kind of this disdain for Pat Riley a little bit. I don't know what it is. So that's something that they got to kind of like look in the mirror about.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think is the best fit for him?
I would probably say I really like the Rockets trade. If they can get him, I think he would really be a really good piece. Obviously, I watched them play against my Lakers yesterday, and they blew us out. I think you add in Jimmy Butler with the Ime Udoka, that just adds more stability, more of a hunger for this team that I think that would keep a lot of these young guys in line. Surprise pick. I low key think he should consider going to the Orlando Magic. Now, will the Miami Heat trade him to the Orlando Magic in Florida? I don't know, but I think the moment you bring Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner back, obviously, Suggs had a bad back injury, and hopefully he's able to come back soon. But if you can add Jimmy Butler to this team with a KCP, if you don't have to involve him with a trade, this could be a really, really good team that can compete for a championship. I low-key think they could compete for the East. Now, will they do that? I don't know. But I think those would be the kind of the two teams I would like to see him on. I would definitely not want to see him on the Suns. I would also wouldn't mind the Grizzlies as well. I think that would be a good fit for him too.
For sure. Do you think he's a game-changing championship piece?
if you get a motivated Jimmy Butler, he can be. Obviously, he is getting older. Obviously, he does get injured a little bit more, but I think he still has some years left where he could be that player that could elevate a team over the hump and get to an NBA championship. Now, win an NBA championship is a different story, but he could potentially do that depending on the situation. As I said, if I think he goes to the Magic and the Magic can get healthy, I think they have a really great shot. The Rockets, I think they are a year away, but that it would definitely help them push them up a little bit faster as far as the rankings up. They're having a really good year, and now I think they could compete with the Houston Rockets. They already can match up pretty well with them right now. So I think those are the two teams that he should really strongly consider, and the Grizzlies. I said John Morant and Jaren Jackson. If Ja can stay healthy, man, and you add Jimmy Butler to that, man, like I think the Memphis Grizzlies have been playing really good so far this year. You know what I mean? I think they're top 4 in the West right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Well, for sure, brother, for sure. All right, man. Let's talk. Let's go back to the NFL, man. It's Black Monday, man. NFL head coaches are getting fired.
Yeah.
Now we all know right after the game with the New England Patriots game, Gerard Mayo got fired. I know Robert Kraft put out a statement saying that it was the hardest thing that he's ever did, which kind of crazy because you fired the man right after the game. So
it wasn't that
hard. It wasn't like it took you. Well, like it was like a month.
Uniforms yet by the time we got that news.
It's not like it was a month later or something. We delegated and felt like it was the best decision. Like, nah, he was like right after the game. Yeah, you're fired.
Yeah.
We know Dougie P. We saw Dougie P. He was going to get fired. But the most interesting thing is that they're retaining. The Giants are retaining Dayball and the GM. I think his name is Shohan. And I don't know what the Raiders are doing, but it looks like they're keeping AP.
Oh my god!
You don't like that?
I'm gonna start by saying this disclaimer right here. Look, I'm all for rooting for black head coaches. I want all black head coaches to succeed. I will give them all a benefit of the doubt. I know a lot of people kind of compare the Gerard Mayo and Antonio Pierce situation. I think those are two different situations. I think Gerard Mayo got the short end of the stick. He was chosen to replace Bill Belichick. He was given a terrible team, a young terrible team that has up and coming sights in the future. Like you finally found a quarterback with Drake May who looked good all year. You have a great young defense. Obviously, they don't have too many pieces on that offensive side. The offensive line could be better. There are some situations with the running back position where, like Ramondre Stevenson left some things to be desired. Their defense was up and down for the most part, but we all know that this defense can be really good. I just what did you expect this team to do? I don't understand why Patriots fans were upset. Like y'all were expected to contend for the playoffs. I don't know about you, Chris, but I was not expecting that. I expected them to have a top 5 pick this year. I didn't expect them to do anything. So why have that expectation amongst Gerard Mayo? You started off the season clearly stating that this was going to be a long process for you guys to establish yourselves back to be a perennial playoff team with a chance to make it to the Super Bowl every year.
Right.
You knew it was going to happen this year. So what changed? It's not the fact that you guys lost by big amounts to really good teams. It's the fact that you listen to a fan base that is really, really impatient. And 2, you probably got the word that Mike Vrabel was really interested in this job. And you was like, you know what? I like him being the face of this organization more so than I like Gerard Mayo. That is the fact. Like, I'm not going to bring it to be a race issue, but to a degree, in a city like Boston, Massachusetts, who has been known to do some egregious things to players and on opposing teams and on their team, let alone coaches. Like, I'm not surprised. A lot of these Boston fans were clamoring for Mike Vrabel to be their head coach the moment that they had any inkling that he could do it. So the moment that happened, all of a sudden, you started hearing the reports because all this time, even the day before, what were the reports leading up to Sunday? Oh, Gerard Mayo, we're sticking with Gerard Mayo. We have no instance of trying to fire this man. This man has been losing all year. So what changed? The moment he won the game, don't tell me it's because he won the game and he lost all the number one pick. That's not the reason why you got rid of him. It's the fact that Mike Vrabel probably gave you a wink, wink, saying, "Yo, if you let this man go, I will strongly, strongly consider taking your job." Because that's I see what it has. You have a young quarterback that potentially could be great. Like, yeah, he had one great year. Let's see if he can consistently do that. We saw CJ Stroud have a great year, and he took a little bit of step back. Not saying he's not going to be great. I know he's going to be great, but he took a little bit of step back, and you have all this cap space. So Mike Vrabel, here's the job. So I think he got the short end of the stick. Now with AP, it's different for me because he had a half a year last year and had this team competing for a playoff spot that lost us some draft capital because we're at the end of the draft. Mm-hmm. He had a whole year. He preached how he wanted to be us to be in intensity and be these hard ride football players that aren't scared to make big plays and make big decisions. But you couldn't do that. You decided to punt on a lot of those downs where you could have been aggressive, but you chose not to be aggressive. You chose to hire our offensive coordinator. You made that decision. And then on top of that, you saw how bad it was, and you waited so long for you to finally rip the Band-Aid off. It was too late. Then you decided to have the decision to have Gardner Minshew be the starting quarterback, but you could have clearly had Aiden O'Connell, and you knew Aiden O'Connell was the better quarterback, but you went with Gardner Minshew. That was another problem. You potentially could have re-signed Josh Jacobs. You chose not to. What else? You had Devontae Adams, and even though I don't agree with how Devontae Adams left his team and what he did, that really left a bad taste in my mouth as far as him as a football player that I did appreciate. He left. You got your star defensive player who questions being a Raider every week. And yet we're celebrating him winning 2 meaningless games against the Jacksonville Jaguars, which we barely won. It wasn't like we dominated that team. We barely beat them. And Mac Jones and Spencer Rattler on the road and against the New Orleans Saints, who are trash. And we're talking about we want to celebrate that, and that's winning. Like, what are we doing, man? It's like at the point, like, this organization and Mark Davis has no idea what they want to do. And it's beyond frustrating because you scream out just win, but what are we winning? What are we winning? So, it seems like he's going to be our head coach. And if that's the case, then, I'm a root for him, but I need to see some because I'm tired of, I'm not going with all these speeches and how he, gives himself off in these press conferences. That's not going to get me off anymore, man. Like, you got to actually do something. You got to actually show me that you're becoming a better head coach. And I pray that he does, because I want him to succeed. Hopefully he could be the new Dan Campbell, like how he was with the Detroit Lions. You know what I'm saying? Like, he started off slow and, he had built that whole mantra. So I'm hoping he could be the same way. But, it's been a lot left to be desired for me. But overall, man, I'm pretty surprised, especially with Tom Brady coming in, that no changes are being made. And now he's even talking about keeping the whole staff together. I'm like, what are we doing?
What's going on, Mark?
What up, man? Sorry, I didn't mean to go on that rant.
No, you good, brother. What do you think is the most intriguing job right now to date?
So what's open right now? The
Jacksonville job. You got the Giants. You got the Bears.
No, Giants aren't open. Brian Dable stayed.
Oh, that's right to you, Dable said. Well, then you got the Jacksonville, Bears, New England.
That's it right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would probably say the New England Patriots, just based on you have a young quarterback that looked very, very promising, and you have $130 million in cap space. So you have the potential to do whatever you want. Like, you pretty much got a clean slate. You know what I mean? So obviously, I still think the Chicago Bears job is a very intriguing job. Like, yeah. I still like Caleb Williams as a quarterback. You still got some young receivers. You can play around with that offense, if you want to trade DJ Moore for some assets and stuff like that. Obviously, I think main so with the Bears is they just need the offensive line. I think this team could look a whole lot better. I think both jobs are attractive, but I just think with the clean slate that the Patriots are giving, I would say probably New England.
Yeah.
is probably the most attractive job.
Yeah, I would agree with you. It's not as there's a lot of dysfunction going around in Chicago right now.
It is. It
They
is.
want the owners to sell, and
Mhm.
even though I feel bad for Gerard Mayo and the way they handled that situation, it's still the Crafts are usually Robert Kraft is usually one of the genuine good owners. He stays out the way. And that's what you want from your owner. You don't want Jerry Jones. You don't want, Tepper, even though Tepper really hasn't been in the limelight this year, but still. Um, you want an owner that just signs the checks. That's what you here for, man. Let me do
Like
my job.
low key, I don't even think the Jags job is that bad. Like
I don't think the Jags
you're in a
are.
division that's up for grabs pretty much every year. You have Trevor Lawrence, who has shown he can be a star quarterback. You just need to find
Mhm,
his mojo back.
mhm.
You got two really good running backs. One you could probably trade because there's gonna probably be some people that need a running back. You have some decent pieces on the defensive side.
You have a
You could
superstar at wide receiver.
you have a superstar wide receiver. You have a top draft pick. You have a top 5 draft pick, if I'm not mistaken. Like, so
Mhm.
you could, if you wanted to, you could try to. You might possibly still be able to get Travis Hunter. You probably, and if you got him, I think that definitely helps the defensive side of the ball. So, and then if you don't get him, there's still plenty of options with that pick. Like, there's really a lot of really good players in the first round. So, I don't think that's a bad job either, honestly. I don't know what their cap space is as far as like with everything, but it's not a bad job. I think all three of those jobs aren't bad jobs. I think the worst job right now is the Jets. I think that's the worst job right now.
Yeah.
That's the worst job opening right now is the New York Jets. And
Jets
from
are it. Browns.
like, what do you think? What do you make of Rex Ryan? Obviously, he interviewed for the job, and there's been other couple guys. Who do you think ends up with the Jets job?
If you're the Jets, if you're smart, you get you a young offensive minded coach. Them defensive minded coaches, that's all y'all do, man. Y'all don't never get nobody on the offensive side.
Yeah.
That's all y'all do is y'all
Mhm.
get these offensive minded coaches, and they don't do nothing with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Their defenses are usually pretty good,
Mhm.
but you need a young offensive mind like a Ben Johnson. Now, I don't think Ben Johnson
Ben
wants to go
Johnson's not
there.
taking that job.
No, I
He's
don't
not
think
taking
Ben
that
Johnson. He got way better options to go, but you need somebody like that.
job. Well, who do you see them getting as a quarterback?
That's the interesting part right there because Aaron Rodgers is definitely on it. We could talk about Aaron Rodgers in a minute, but I think Aaron Rodgers is out the building. I think him and Woody Johnson. I think their relationship is severed. I don't
Oh
think
yeah,
that's.
so yeah, yeah.
I think that's done.
Mhm.
So, and then as far as you're not in a position to get a Shador or a Cam unless you trade up, with
Yeah.
one of them. And I don't think neither one, all three teams could use a quarterback,
Yeah, and
especially
then
with the
plus the
Browns.
Raiders are in front of them too, so that ain't
Yeah,
happening.
especially with
That's
the
not,
Browns.
yeah,
Now hearing the news that Deshaun Watson's Achilles injury is not
yeah. I
on,
heard about that.
it has a setback. They're definitely getting a quarterback. They
Yeah,
need one.
they need
I
they
know
need
they got other problems and issues, but they need a quarterback. They need somebody who could be the face of that franchise and move forward. You might have, I don't know if they have an injury clause in that contract or whatever, but I think it's over for Deshaun Watson.
It's not looking good because you literally just saw him in the video dancing with his girl on vacation, and next thing you know, you get a report saying that his Achilles is not really healing the way it needs to be. So, um, I don't know. Like, honestly, like, we got to see what happens this week. Like, if let's say Sam Darnold doesn't have a really good game this weekend. I think that there could be potentials where they don't re-sign him. You know what I mean? They depending on obviously McCarthy's health, but there might be a chance where they just might be like, you know what, we appreciate you, Sam, but we're gonna move forward with JJ McCarthy. You got us as far as you could. We're just gonna go with JJ, and then maybe he might have a reunion with the Jets. Now they're gonna have to pay him pretty good money to probably convince him to go back into that situation, but you can do that. I ain't gonna lie. I would try to call the New England Patriots about Milton, dog. Milton
I
look
was
really
just about
good.
to say that.
Milton look really good, dog.
I was
Because I
about to
so
say
key
that.
said the Raiders should low key should consider talking to the Patriots about Milton, dog.
I
Because
was just about to
like I
ask
get
you.
it,
I was gonna
I
ask you about that.
I
Like,
get it. Nah, Milton look really nice, dog. Milton look nice, bro. He's saucy, bro. That motherfucker nice, bro. I ain't gonna lie. And I get it. It was against backups, but He did this
Still,
even in the preseason. I'm like,
yeah,
he looked good, bro. He
he's
has the
elevated.
arm.
It looks like
He
he
has
didn't
the
work on
arm.
his game.
He has the arm. He's built like a Cam Newton, bro. Like there was this play where homie
I saw that.
literally dubbed him right in the chest, and homie
Yeah.
looked at him like, bro, that's all you got, dog. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, hey, Raiders, hey, AP, you gonna be our head coach? Consider getting Joe Milton if you can't get Shador Cam. I would be really excited about Joe Milton. Honestly, I really would. And you get Will Johnson. Brother, I will give you a standing ovation. I'll be ready for the season, brother. Like, consider that. I think you can probably trade him for a second round pick. You know what I mean? I think he could go for that with how he looked. I like Joe. I think there should be a lot of teams that should really call the Patriots about Joe Milton.
Yeah, for sure. Um, but yeah, like I said, it's gonna be interesting to see in this draft how things shake out. Um, and like I said, with these coaches, who takes what job? Like I said, the Jets job, that's gonna be a difficult one. You're gonna have to get somebody, maybe Rex. You bring him back because he wants the job, like he really
Yeah,
wants that
he
job,
do. He really
or you,
does.
or you know what I'm saying. I know they're they requested an interview with our OC Matt Nagy, so maybe you go in that direction with a
I think they
Nagy.
should go with Aaron Glenn, bro. I think Aaron Glenn is
I
the answer for that
I
team.
like Aaron Glenn, but if I'm Aaron Glenn, don't
Would I take that job? I don't know because
don't
I don't trust the owner. If he's going looking at an owner way, I think the best job for him may be the Jags job. I think the Jags job would be really, really good. Even you know what? You know, other job I'm not really too fond of is that New Orleans Saints job. I'm not really fond of that New Orleans Saints team.
And a lot of people are a lot of circles are saying he's a shoo-in for that job.
Yeah, I would. I want to take that though. I don't know because you're going in a situation where you don't have a quarterback. Spencer Rattler ain't it. Derek Carr ain't it. You got an old defense. You have an injury-prone Kamara who's getting older. You have an injury-prone wide receiver Chris Olave. Like I just don't find that situation and Taysom Hill who gets injured. Great talent. Like you got some talented guys, but they get injured every single year.
He coming off of the injury.
Yeah, I'm just like, nah, that's not the job for me. Aaron Glenn, like, do better. I think he would do way much better in Jacksonville. At least you actually got a quarterback. Like, obviously, you know, we all expect him to be better than what he showed these last.
Now he's starting to show a little bit of a history of injuries too. So you gotta look out for that too.
Nah, he is, but at the same time, he's a better choice than whatever the Saints
got.
Of course. He's 100% time better. You know what I mean? So I think he should go after the Jags job. I think for him, I want him to succeed, or even maybe consider if the Bears are open to it, maybe the Bears. You know what I mean? Yeah. I would consider that job too if they're open up
situation any better. I think they did restructure some stuff and got rid of.
Yeah, maybe. Because if you're the Bears, you have to consider Aaron Glenn too, because now you're stealing him away from your divisional rivals, and he's gonna know everything about that offense and how to compete against that offense. I think Aaron Glenn will be an amazing either him or Ben Johnson. They got to go for one of those two guys. I think that's the easiest decision for the Bears. Like, throw this kitchen sink at both of those guys and see who decides to take it.
Yeah. Interesting that all those jobs are in the top 10 of the draft.
Saints should just go ahead and hire John Gruden. He wants to be a head coach. Give him a shot. Go ahead, give it to John Gruden. He knows Derek Carr. Honestly, that's the perfect fit for them. It's John Gruden, bro.
But I'm getting rid of Derek Carr. It's over, dog.
Yeah, for who though? Who you going? Who you get? Who you get?
They're
gonna be one of those teams that's gonna. I think that I could see that being like a Milrow team. I could see that being a Milrow team. A Milrow team or a Carson Beck team. I could see that. Because I could see them drafting Carson Beck, still keeping Derek Carr, but having Carson Beck sit, especially with that UCL injury. Have him sit for the year, and then get him ready for the final year. I can see that situation.
I'd rather roll the dice with Jackson Dart in the second round.
That's a good question. Who would you rather take, Jackson Dart or Carson Beck?
Jackson
or Dylan Gabriel. I like Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel ain't that bad. He's obviously a smaller quarterback, but he's not that bad.
Give me Jackson Dart, man.
You want Jackson Dart?
I see the potential. If what's your name declared from the draft? Give me Drew Allard. Shit.
I think if Drew Allard I said this last week. If Drew Allard and Penn State even go to the championship and he looks really good, I low-key wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being the number one pick. I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
Tennessee?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because I did see a report saying that with us that we would trade back and then we would be the guys to get Drew Radlar. And I wouldn't be mad at that. You trade back, get some more pieces and stuff like that. But no, I wouldn't be surprised, man. Depending on how he looks this next game, and then if the national championship, if you were to make that. But I don't know. I just think Carson Beck and Jackson Dart are the same player. Now, obviously, Jackson Dart is the healthier player because he's not going through an elbow surgery, but they're both inconsistent. They both got big arms. They both made NFL type throws that made you be like, I could kind of see it, but at the same time, like I could see this being like a disaster, like kind of like not on like Ryan Leaf proportions, but in a sense of like they have the talent to be NFL quarterbacks, but it just doesn't click. Kind of like a Will Levis. Like I think Will Levis has NFL talent. He just mentally he just doesn't.
You just don't see the field right.
Nah, but he got a fucking cannon for an arm though.
I know because I saw that lucky ass throw he threw on Sunday. Just
it hit though. It hit though, didn't it? It hit though.
He wasn't even throwing it to that receiver. He's throwing it to the other.
Yeah, he really trying to be Brett Favre, but he just doesn't. He just doesn't connect as much as Brett.
And the audacity go, hey.
Nah, I know.
You're losing, man. Shut up.
But yeah,
good thing.
Nah. But if I had to choose one, and who could potentially be better, I guess I would agree with you with Jackson Dart. I guess I would reluctantly do it, but I guess
because a lot of people are sold on Nuss. I don't see it with Nuss.
What do you make about the reports with Shador and some scouts don't even have him as a first round draft pick?
Hey, that's better for y'all.
No, it's hey, I was low-key smiling. I was like, hey, maybe they knew something I didn't know. Maybe I should just shut up because they're more in the know than me. Hey, I don't know.
That's better for y'all.
I still don't think unless he just has I don't know, he has to have a bad showing like in his like.
I think he gets picked early, but I'm just saying, these executives.
Well, they are saying. I did read a report saying that Tennessee Titans are more fans of Cam Ward than they are Shador. I did read that. So,
and if the Browns are picking, he's not going to Cleveland.
Who, Shador?
Yeah, he's not going to Cleveland.
Deion would not allow that.
He's not going to Cleveland.
Nah, I know Deion was like, I ain't gonna do. Deion ain't allowing Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland's a shit show. That's a bad organization, bro.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. We got some nasty news last night, man. Skip, aka Dirty Mac Bayless,
paying for the P Bayless. That's crazy.
But he's not the only one in these allegations. Now,
there's
another guy named the EVP of Fox Sports, Charlie Dixon, and Joy Taylor is named in this. Sexual harassment and defamation allegations too from what's her name? Notion Faraji. Sorry if I messed your name up. 42-page lawsuit where she's saying that Skip Bayless made several passes at her, offered her $1.5 million to have sex with her, even not to laugh at the situation, but I just thought it was nuts. If he really said this to her, but he said something to the effect of, he thought that Shannon Sharp, she was sleeping with Shannon Sharp, and then he tried to, have sex with, offer sex, and she said, "No, you're married." And he said, "Ain't your dad Muslim?" He has several wives. Like, if he said that, that's nasty work. Then said something. Claimed that she went to Joy Taylor to tell her because it was like woman to woman type deal. Like, maybe I can confide in her. And she told her to get over it. And there are speculations of her sleeping with Emmanuel Achu and this Charlie Dixon guy. And just there's reports that if the Charlie Dixon guy came out with this news that she was going to file a sexual harassment charge against him. And it's just all kinds of nastiness going on right now. What are your thoughts when you heard all these?
Hey, Mark, yo, that's crazy.
He might.
Again, these are all allegations. These are all alleged. So, After reading some of the report, they were having mad Diddy parties over at Fox, bro. Baby oil was out. Look, man. Yeah, obviously, if these allegations are true, very, very disgusting behavior from Skip Bayless. How much was he trying to pay? 1.5. I'm like, man, like he must really want it. But yo, man, I feel bad for his wife if that's true. You know what I mean? Like she had to deal with all the bullshit of him, literally telling her that my job is way more important than whatever we got going on. He clearly said that several times, and she stuck around. Um, as far as the Joy Taylor situation, you know what, man? Like, I was like, damn, not my girl. Like Joy Taylor was my girl, and would I be surprised? Probably not. Obviously, she has made comments before on like some podcasts and about cheating and all that type of stuff, and some remarks. And you got Emmanuel Ocho. You know what I mean? He put on videos and he literally showed so much infatuation over Joy Taylor and how great she was as a co-host and a partner and co-worker and all that type of stuff. And and then you get some videos with Shannon Sharp and her going to a Dodger game and some comments. And yo, man, this is gonna make into one of the best docs to come out later this year. Like we really haven't even gotten 2 weeks into 2025, and this has been it's been a lot. I'm already burnt out, and we ain't even got to the inauguration yet. Like this is crazy. So when is that anyway? When my man get inaugurated?
I don't know.
But anyways, I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy though. It's definitely an interesting read. If you haven't read it, go up and read it, get educated on the situation. But and Whitlock, bro. This motherfucker was talking about peanut butter skin and all that.
The rack.
I'm like, bro, Whitlock,
her
like,
rack,
bro,
her
like,
rack,
come on, man.
Skin. I said,
come on, man. LeVar Ball was correct, bro. The only thing you really know is about snacks, bro. Why you gotta turn everything into a food product, bro? That shit is crazy.
Me and Mark's group chat, Mark said that the only thing he knows racks about is ribs and lamb chops.
I'm like, my God, bro. Like, he must have been infatuated with them things she got on her chest, boy. But hey, man, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Prayers to this young lady, if this is all true. Prayers to everybody at Fox. Shout out to the ones that weren't named in this. I ain't see no Colin Cowherd. So shout out to Colin, man. He out here keeping it clean out here. Nick Wright and all them boys. Chris Broussard.
Honestly though, like if this is really true, obviously it's gonna be really damning for Skip Bayless. Like it's gonna look really bad. Like should never do that. In the workplace or at all, period. But it's gonna be really bad for Joy Taylor out there, bro. Like that ass, man. Because I did read a clip or snippet where it says something where, as you said, like if he were to come out, that she would have just came out and said, I got sexual harassed, and that's the whole thing of it's been kind of talked about more of certain females lying about certain accusations and stuff like that. And if that's really the case and that's really true, man, that's just disgusting behavior, man. I think that's a really terrible look on Joy Taylor. But again, these are all allegations. We don't know. Obviously we all will find out later on this year. But man, it's just crazy. This is a crazy start to the year.
Yeah, I agree, man. Prayers to everybody involved. You know what I'm saying? The truth shall come to the light, and hope everything gets resolved. If this is true, hope this young lady gets everything that she deserves. And if it's not, she's still gonna get everything she deserves.
I ain't gonna lie, this topic has probably been the memes. They've been top memes of the year so far. It's been amazing. I've been dying. I've been weak with some of y'all stuff on the.
Y'all don't take nothing serious, man. That's all I got to
say. That's a good thing sometimes.
Yeah, I don't take nothing serious.
Hell nah.
All right, man. Let's do our Bet US Surefire picks, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh man, what you got?
Tonight I got the Bucks -6 over the Raptors. Bucks haven't really been playing too good ever since them winning the championship in the NBA Cup, but I think they're going to bounce back with this Raptors game. I got the Grizzlies -5 with the Mavs. Obviously, we got news with Kyrie Irving having a bulging disc in his back, so he's going to be out for a couple weeks. They already don't have Luka for probably another 3 to 4 weeks. So I do like the Grizzlies. Grizzlies have been playing really, really well. I do like the points in that. And then I'm gonna take the Wolves -2.5 with the Clippers. I don't think Kawhi is gonna play. I know he came back Saturday. I don't know if he's gonna play tonight. Even if he does, I still like the Wolves in this game.
Oh, he played. Oh, he
Yeah.
played.
No, he played Saturday. I'm just saying I don't know if he's gonna play tonight.
Okay.
Yes. So I don't know, but either way, even if he does, I still like the Wolves -2.5. I do like that. Shout out to Ty Lugo. Shout out to Ty.
For sure. Let me get the Orlando Magic +12 over the Knicks. I think that game's gonna be closer than They ain't gonna blow out the Orlando Magic. And I'm with you on the Timberwolves. I got it at -2. I'm gonna take the Minnesota Timberwolves at -2. And I'm taking the Spurs -3 over the Bulls, man.
I like that. Spurs looking good. Wemby looking good, man. That team's looking really. They're playing a lot better, man.
I saw my man. I saw Wemby and Russ going back and forth. Pat him on his head.
Yeah, man. Russ is a character, bro. I swear to God, man.
Oh, that's funny. If you go to any of our social media outlets, you'll see the link for the BetUS website. Click on it. This is for first-time users only. Sign up. Put in the promo code JOIN125. You get 125% signing bonus plus 10% gambler's insurance because they got other things on the website. You put your first bet in. Well, the 125% signing bonus gets you 3 risk-free bets. That's a minimum of $100 up to $5,000. So if you bet your first 3 deposits of $100, if you bet those 3 times and you lose, you keep your money. What better deal than that, man? Go ahead and sign up with BetUS. Tell them Cris and Mal sent you. And that does it for our BetUS Surefire picks. All right, man. We gotta talk about Tyreek Hill, man. I gotta pull this clip up. We gotta hear what Mr. Reek is talking about.
How do you feel about not getting to 1,000 yards this season?
I mean, it is what it is, man. It's life, man. I feel like at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that, I need to reassess, about, my career and, just see what I need to do, to continue to get better, as a player. So I can continue to reach that 1,000-yard mark. So it is what it is.
What do you think is the biggest reason the team finished 8 and 9?
I would say for me, man, as a captain, it was a tough season, man. It sucks, man, missing QB1, man. It really hurts a lot, man. Not having him, but Snoop did a great job of filling in whenever he learned the offense, getting us going. But whenever you're missing, your franchise player, man, it kind of sucks. So.
As a captain, what is the message you have to these guys in the offseason? What do you feel this at the end of the season?
I don't even know, bro. This is my first time. I haven't been in the playoffs, man. So, I mean, for me, like I said, man, I just got to do what's best for me and my family, dog. If that's here, if that's wherever the case may be, man, I'm finna open that door for myself, dog. As I'm opening the door, like I'm out, bro. So it was great playing here, but at the end of the day, bro, I got to do what's best for for my career and what's best. Because I'm too much of a competitor to be just
Does that mean
it's
you're
out
thinking
there.
about, mean you thinking about leaving here?
If it is, hey,
Yo, Tommy Hill, bro, you a fool, my guy. I swear to God. Yo, that motherfucker funny, bro. I swear, bro. Oh my
So
God, I was weak when I saw that shit.
now to give a little bit more context in the game, in the 4th
Mhm.
quarter, he took
Yeah.
himself out of the game. And it wasn't because of injury. And Mike McDaniels in his press conference, they asked him about Tyreek Hill coming out of the game, and he said it wasn't about no new injury. He just took himself out of the game, and he didn't come back. Which I hate to say this, I mean, he did stay on the sideline, but that ain't no different from what Devondre Campbell did. He took himself out of the game.
That's true.
It's the
That's
same
true.
thing. It's the same thing. He just stayed on the sideline. He quit on his team though. That's what he did.
Yeah, he did.
But this is look, I'm not mad at Tyreek Hill going to Miami and taking the money. Look, I'm not mad at him for doing what he had to do for his family. But there is the other side of this. You got to know that you're secure enough. You got to know all the information before you take the money and go to whatever said team. We all know that Tua had injury issues coming out of college. He had surgeries, hip surgeries, and all kinds of others. He was an injured player in Alabama. And then you come in here and he's injury prone in Miami. So he hasn't had a full season yet. And so you can't sit up here and be like, I'm out, because now you're frustrated because you missed the playoffs for the first time in your career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It happens. You know what I'm saying? Look, and I'm not going to even use the grass ain't green on the other line. The grass is green because you made you some good money and you took care of your family. At the end of the day, yes, you see the Chiefs winning, and you probably could have had a couple more championships under your belt. You probably could have. But I'm just saying, I'm not going to kill him for that. What I am going to say is, you got to know what you're getting yourself into when you make those decisions. When you talk to your agent, you got to know, look, he ain't Patrick Mahomes, he ain't Josh Allen, he ain't Joe Burrow. So, and look, the offense looked good when Tua was in there. It did. It was a top 5 offense. Him, Waddle, Achane, and all them. The problem was they could never stay healthy. Waddle was always out. Even Reek himself would get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Achane is in and out of the lineup. Mostert is in and out of the lineup. And then defensively, they were a little bit better, but you put these brothers in weather below 40, they can't do nothing.
Right.
You knew they was gonna lose. Buffalo Bills owned them.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like the run with the Patriots. They just owned them. They couldn't do nothing with Buffalo.
Yeah.
Even though the games might have been close, they just could never seal the deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where Tyreek Hill goes from here. This is not going to look good in the locker room. It's not going to look good with ownership. And it's definitely going to look good with his coaches. He's going to have to sit down with his coaches. Maybe he needs a couple of days, because I know emotions run high after a game. So maybe he needs a couple of days to decompress and rethink what he said, and he'll probably send out an apology or whatever. But I don't know if he can stay on Miami Dolphins. And I'm not, and teams are still going to line up to go pick him because he's still a talent, and talent always overseeds the bull. It always does. So they gave Antonio Brown many chances. So he'll be on, if he's not on the Dolphins, he'll be somewhere else. But you can't complain about how your situation is when you knew your situation before you got there. So it is what it is.
Well, let's be real about the situation here, man. Come on, man. This man has like 13 kids. This man probably went to the organization with his agent because I'm sure he probably wants some more money. And they probably didn't give him the number that he wanted. Or they're like, we're not ready to do that right now. Let's give it another year. And my man's like, nah. I got 13 kids to feed, baby. I need more than what I'm getting paid right now. So I think this is all about the money, bro. I think that at the end of the day, I think he just didn't get the deal that he wanted. So
didn't they restructure his contract?
I'm not sure, but I know I was hearing stuff that he wants a new deal though. That he wants more money. So I said, man, you got 13 kids to feed. You know that 113 million for 4 years ain't hitting the same like he used to 4 kids ago. So look, man, I low-key really think it's just that situation. I don't think it's about football because he knew what he was getting himself into. We gotta stop acting like Tyreek Hill is dumb with the situation. He knew what's up. Like he knew he was leaving he had the opportunity to stay with the Kansas City Chiefs and he wanted the money. It wasn't about the Super Bowls, it wasn't about the playoffs. Like, yeah, he still wants to compete. Yeah, he still wants to compete for a championship. But I don't think it's the end all be all. He got his one with the Kansas City Chiefs. He could have stayed, but he wanted the bread. So I think that's all about. He wants to go to a situation where somebody will pay him the money, and he'll be happy. He'll be good. So I don't know, man. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I view this situation. That's just me, but. I thought the way he went out was funny as shit. That interview was hilarious the whole time. First time I saw that was hilarious. But at the same time, I agree with you. You can't quit on your team like that, bro. You can't. It's just a bad look. It's not really a good look. That's kind of sacrilegious. It wasn't as like bad as like I would say Antonio Brown or Campbell, but it's still bad enough.
It's still bad.
And just the way you went about it, just I'm out, dog. I'm out. Like I'm like, bro, you gotta at least like give it a couple days. Talk to your agent, find out what the best case situation is, because at the end of the day, you don't want to hurt your stock at the end of the day. And then with that interview and with those actions, it's just going to quit all these other organizations. Yeah, they'll be lined up to get you, but they're going to have questions. And you know what I mean? That let's say that 150 million for 3 years that might have been on the table, or 140, whatever the number could be. Maybe that goes down to 100 now because of some of your actions. So you might have cost you some bread off of that. So at the end of the day, I'm curious to see where he goes. I can't see him being back with Miami after what he said and what he did. I've been hearing people already kind of saying, oh, he's going to go back to the Chiefs. He's not going back to the Chiefs. Stop. Let's stop. I think he will be a great target for the Commanders. I think that would be a great situation. I've heard rumors about the Raiders. We have a lot of cap space. That could be a potential thing. The New England Patriots, they got a lot of cap space. They could potentially be there. I don't know what the Texans situation is. Maybe you look into that, seeing how much money they have in that situation. The Denver Broncos,
they got money.
They got money. Denver Broncos, see what's up with that situation. He's going to
have
Green Bay Packers, like Tyreek Hill going to have options. And if he really is available, he will be the number one receiver out in the market. So that's just it. Like, you know what I mean? So you put him with T. Higgins and all that, it's just going to elevate the market. That's not including all the receivers that are coming in this draft. So it's just going to make it more interesting. So how fast do they trade him? I think if he were to get traded, it's not going to happen until the draft. So it'll be a while before any of that happens. I don't see him getting traded until draft if he does.
Yeah, I agree. Keep your head up, Tyreek, man.
Hey, bro, you gave us a video meme. I'm out, dog. Man. Yo, that was hilarious, bro. I was he did that shit.
And it was like the progression of him getting to that point.
Yeah, man.
Because at first it was just regular, like, man, just last season, whatever, but
right.
Like, well, then he was like, but for me, it was like, I gotta do what's best for my family. So man, I'm out, dog.
Yeah, I'm out, man.
And you can tell the reporters is like, wait,
what? And then he just walked off. I was like, oh, bro.
So that means you're leaving the team? Yeah, man. You could tell he's like, I gotta stay at 10 toes now. Man. I'm out.
Yeah, facts, yo, for real. So and then obviously he changed his Twitter avatar to the Antonio Brown shit. So he could just be trolling. He is a little bit of a troll too. He is a little bit of a troll. So this could be nothing as well. So I'm sure the Miami Dolphins and him will sit down. It seems like they're gonna keep McDaniels. Doesn't seem like they're gonna let him go. So what I mean?
Him and Chris Garris are safe.
Yeah, so I'm sure him and the GM and I'm sure Tua will probably be involved, talking to him, trying to calm him down. Jalen Waddle, all those guys, and get his head back and You know what I mean? And be recommitted to the team. So I wouldn't be surprised if that were to happen either.
But the thing about the Dolphins, man, is that look, bro. I know y'all just gave that money to Tua, but y'all might have to invest in a quarterback in the draft. I'm not saying first, second round, but maybe in the third round.
They're gonna have to.
You see somebody there that got potential. You might have to, or you go get you a really good viable backup.
Yeah, no, you have to at this point. You have to, because you cannot put faith into it and it's health any longer. You just can't. He's one hit away from retirement, man.
Mm-hmm.
He really is. Or he's one hit away from being on the injured reserve for the whole year and being out for the year. Like, because at this point, every concussion he gets, he's going to be out at least a month at this point. At least, maybe even longer. So you got to take that into account. Yeah, you paid him, but you're going to have to, you got to start setting up for the future. You have to, and there's no other way around it. But it's going to be tough with that contract and that deal, because when he gets hurt, God forbid he doesn't, but let's say he does, and you put in a rookie quarterback that is remarkable, then you're going to have some real interesting decisions you're going to have to make amongst your franchise. So,
yeah.
But they put themselves in that. No one told them to give them that money, but they decided to do it, which was honorable with them. I mean, you got to salute Miami Dolphins for sticking with Tua, because there are probably a lot of organizations that are like, nah, we're good. So he gave him his money. So you got to salute the Dolphins for that, at least. They paid the player for what he did, and I mean, they still have faith in him. But it's gonna be interesting, bro. And the 49ers need to look at that. You know what I mean? They don't want to be in that same position with Brock Purdy. And it's no offense to Brock Purdy. I know he's done a lot with what he has accomplished, getting to the Super Bowl, the stats that he's put up, but it's can he really elevate your team like that on a cap hit like that? And I just don't see it, man. The 49ers, I know we're getting off of Tyreek Hill, but the 49ers situation is really interesting, because I just saw an interview with Charvarius Ward, and it doesn't seem like he's coming back to the 49ers. Like, he kind of stated that, I mean, obviously, he wants his money, but at the same time, he kind of put in the trauma that he went through with his kid passing away in California, that even his lady isn't even there no more. So now you're going to be missing one of your top corners. You know what I mean? And then you got to figure out about Greenlaw, and you got to figure out about Debo, and you got to figure out when IU's coming back. You got to figure out about Christian McCaffrey and his health, and hopefully Garendo is okay. He got carted off last week, and then you got the whole situation with Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, and George Kittle is getting older. Fred Warner coming off having a broken ankle that he played on, and it's I don't know what's up. The Niners are. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's not looking good for them next year at all.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they do. They're gonna have to hit in the draft.
That's the only way. That's the only way. Because like giving Brock Purdy a $50 million contract is not going to help your team. Because if you do that, you're just setting yourself up for the next 4 years to be mediocre. That's the reality of it, because you're not going to be able to fit all those pieces in. Like, you also, and I even talk about Trent Williams. Like, you got to figure out what you want to do with him. So, and he's one of your best offensive linemen. So if you have him out, and we already seen what that situation is without Trent Williams, like, what are we doing? Like, I think it's getting to the point where I think they should just strongly consider potentially slowly blowing this team up and reconfiguring it. T. Higgins, if Freak leaves, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. Yeah. If I'm T. Higgins, would I want to go there? No, because I don't trust. I don't trust Tua. I'd rather be with Jaden Daniels. Yeah. I'd rather go to the Raiders, because sooner or later we will get a quarterback. I just don't know who. I would go to the Chargers. I would go to the Broncos. Like, there's so many.
I go with Drake May.
I'll go with Drake May. Patriots. Like, Tua will be the last option.
Yeah,
I think,
he would.
On that.
I know the weather is nice and the scenery is nice out there.
For sure.
But yeah, and the taxes, they ain't getting no taxes out there, but still, like,
yeah. I would love T. Higgins to the Raiders. I would love it. but we just need a quarterback, man. I said, man, I would be excited if we got Milton and T. I would really be excited about that. I've come a long way. I've done a lot of self-reflection in the mirror these last couple weeks. I've accepted that we're not getting a top pick and that we're not getting Shador and
Higgins with Bowers would be nasty.
That would be nasty.
Nasty.
So I've accepted that defeat and I've moved on. I know I went on a tangent and there's some things I do want to apologize about, to the Raiders organization. I think I went a little overboard with y'all. I still would love to work for the organization of Mark Davis one day. So I do apologize.
What happened? What happened? Why can't I hear? Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
All right, can you hear me?
Now I can.
Yeah, it was me. My bad. My thing unplugged.
Oh.
Yeah, you're good. I saw the red light and I was like, oh, a red light. Let me stop. But yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, man. I accepted the fact of the Shador Sanders thing and all that. But yeah, Higgins with Bowers, man, will be really nasty. You know what I mean? And let's say we potentially get Ashton Genty or something in the draft or something, depending on the direction they want to go. I could be a hitter right there, but I could be a hitter.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see. We shall see where all these moving parts go.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's do our NBA top 10 rankings.
Okay. You want me to go?
I'll go first.
All right, my guy. Let's go. What you got, man?
Look, I ain't about to give you no explanation. This is just my 10 teams. All right. I don't.
Hey, it's a start, baby.
I ain't about to be breaking this stuff down. Right.
It's a start, man. Hey, man. Salute.
Respectfully, number 10, I got your Lakers. All right. I know they made some trades. You know what I'm saying? Dorian Finney-Smith and what's the other guy's name?
Oh, Shake Milton.
Shake Milton. You got some pieces over there. But y'all doing all right, you know what I'm saying? Since y'all got them. I know y'all didn't y'all win over the weekend?
We got drubbed by the Houston Rockets, so no.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
We won the night before though. We beat the Atlanta Hawks, so.
All right, so still Atlanta's still a good decent team.
Yeah, they're decent.
So yeah, I got y'all at number 10. At number 9, I got the Dallas Mavericks. They're dealing with injuries right now. You just reiterated Kyrie Irving is out, Luka's out, so they're dealing with injuries. But once they get those guys back, I expect them to be in the hunt for the West. Then I got the LA Clippers. It said Kawhi made his debut. They still, they're still a respectful, ties over there. So he's always going to keep that team respectful. You know what I'm saying? They're always going to be right there. The Denver Nuggets, we all know they got championship pedigree. They're getting older. They're longer in the tooth, but they still got championship pedigree over there. Memphis Grizzlies, we all know how I feel about Ja Morant. Ja Morant is a superstar talent. He's removed from all the BS and all the mess. He's just playing basketball. He's having a really good season. I'm going to go with the Memphis Grizzlies. Number 5, the Houston Rockets. You always talked about the Houston Rockets. They have a lot of young talent over there, and, they're an ascending team. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they're championship caliber, but they are a really good team. New York Knicks. We all know how the Knicks are looking right now. The Knicks look good. They were on a winning streak. I don't know if the winning streak got snapped, but they were on a winning streak. They got superstars over there, Jalen Brunson, and you got Cat over there, So they're a formidable opponent in the East. Mm-hmm. Number 3, I got the Boston Celtics. They won the championship last year. They're really good. They're probably the top team in the East right now. But, I know how you feel about them. They got Tatum, they got Brown. they're always going to be right.
Mhm.
Number 2, I got the Cleveland Cavaliers though.
Yeah.
That team's been rolling, man.
Mhm.
They've been balling this year, man. They scary, man. They might be their year to get to the championship this year. You know what I'm saying? And we all know who's number 1, man. Oklahoma City Thunder, man. Shea Gill and all the boys over there. Shea's having an MVP season again. He probably should have won it last year. He's probably gonna, if he continues to do what he does, he's probably gonna win it this year. He deserves it. They get Chet Holmgren back. They're probably going to be the favorites. I got them winning the championship this year. I got them on a ticket this year to win the championship. Oklahoma City Thunder.
I'm not mad at your list, man. Decent list. I'm not mad at that. So my number 10, I got the Orlando Magic at number 10. I know they've been going through a lot of injuries, Mo Wag, Franz Wag, and Paolo Banchero. But this team has really been playing really good. Obviously, Suggs got hurt the other night too, so hopefully speedy recovery. But this team has been playing really hard, and they will get these guys back, minus Moag, but they will get Franz back. They will get Paolo back, and this team is going to be riding high. They still got KCP. I really love this team, and they can still make some moves if they feel like they're heading in a really good direction. This was a team that was 4th last year, heading into the playoffs. So, and they played really well against the Cavs. So, I really do like this team. Number 9, I got the Dallas Mavericks. They are going through a little bit of an injury bug right now, but I still am a believer of this team. They do have some depth. Eventually, they should get Luka probably back before the All-Star break. I expect Kyrie to be back before the end of the month with his back. That is a scary thing to deal with, but I do expect both of those guys to be back. And once they get back and past the All-Star break, I think they'll have B rolling. But right now, I got the Mavs 9. Number 8, I got the Grizzlies. I really do like the Grizzlies and the direction that they're going. I still think they're missing a piece. I did watch them play against my Lakers where we did beat them last week, but I do like this team. I like Ja, I like Jaren and all those guys. Desmond Bain, Marcus Smart has been really good off the bench, but I still feel like they're missing one key piece. Zach Edey has been playing pretty good as a rookie, so he almost got into a fight the other day with Draymond Green, which was pretty hilarious. But shout out to them. I got my Lakers 7th. We've been playing pretty good, inconsistently, but we've been playing pretty good. We are supposed to get Vando back, but I do like the addition of Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton. We kind of see it, them finding their groove in the offense. Dorian Finney-Smith looks really good on defense. I am liking what we see. We still are playing inconsistent. We are still turning over the ball that I'm not liking, but I'm hopefully we can improve. So I got a 7th. 6th, the team that whooped us the other night, the Rockets. Really good young team. Very curious to see what they do in the trade deadline, but you got the likes of all those guys with Jalen Green and all those guys. Man, they're playing really good. They're a really feisty team with Dylan Brooks and all that. So I do like it. And May Doka is a hell of a coach. Number 5, I got the Denver Nuggets. Man, they are playing some really good ball. Russ and Nikola Jokic's kind of like tandem has been really, really, really good. It's kind of outshining the Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic tandem that we're accustomed to seeing. It seems like Jamal Murray's starting to get his legs back underneath him. He's looking a little bit healthier, so that is a good sign. This is a team that could make a trade. They do need to make a trade. They're still missing something. There's still many nights where Nikola Jokic is getting like 40 and 20 and 10, and they're still losing these games. So I wouldn't be surprised if they made a trade. Number 4, I got the New York Knicks. Love this team. Starting 5 is amazing, but this depth is really, really weak, and that's the one thing that worries me because we all know about Tibbs. He's gonna run his guys 40 minutes if he doesn't trust anybody on that bench, and I don't. That's not good. Karl-Anthony Towns had an injury over the week. It's not serious, but you don't want those small injuries turning into bigger problems down the road. They're gonna have to figure out the depth situation. I wouldn't be surprised if they were like on the buyout market whenever that occurs. When the trade deadlines pass. Number 3, I got the Boston Celtics. I agree with you. This Celtics team, look, man, they're great, but they leave a lot to be desired, man. For me personally, especially going up against some of the bigger name teams. And at the end of the day, if this team ain't hitting threes, they don't do anything else, bro. For me, but again, they might be going through the motions, but so far that's kind of what I see. But the Celtics are still really good. Number 2, the Cavs. Cavs are playing amazing ball, man. Their defense is. Man, when I watched them play against the Lakers, man, it was something I haven't seen in a while. Like the OKC Thunder kind of play like this on the defensive side. They swarm everything. They kind of trap a lot. They rotate excellent around the ball on the defensive side. Darius Garland's playing good. Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell's having a really great year. Jared Allen. It was kind of interesting in the offseason where they were kind of talking about maybe trading one of those guys, but it's really good. This team is playing really good, and their bench is playing amazing. They got one of the better benches. So, and then obviously number one, OKC Thunder. They looked really good yesterday against the Boston Celtics. Shai Gilgeous easily the MVP, and they'll eventually get Chet back, and that's only going to be scary. They also didn't have Alex Caruso yesterday, and Boston Celtics were fully healthy. So, Thunder is going to be a scary team, man. Shai Gilgeous, man. That boy is nasty, bro. He's the best player in the league, man. He really is. But yeah, that's my top 10, man.
For sure. All right, man. Let's talk about Mr. Aubrey Drake Gray.
Yeah.
He dropped a freestyle over the weekend. You could tell it was a couple of months ago because, he had the braids still on it, but it wasn't really quality, audio. It was just him, reading off his phone in a little TV box or whatever, it was a little freestyle. And I just wanted to highlight some stuff in there, You could tell he was talking to LeBron.
Yeah.
In this, especially with bars like, remember we traded watches, I gave you the Arabic dial, you gave me a number edition, you even checked up on my son like a pediatrician. But it gets interesting when he said, where's it at? Oh, where is it? Where'd it go? That's not it. I just had it. Well, pretty much he had a part where he was talking about, all the people, all the world was in for the gimmicks. They, even his homies got the ticket. Where'd it go? He even made mention of Kendrick. Nigga pulled a rabbit out of the hat. Y'all love a magician. But at the end of the day, it seemed like he was whining to me.
Yeah.
It seemed like he wanted to play victim.
Mm-hmm.
Like he didn't participate in this battle and everybody was just throwing shots at him.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounded ridiculous. Did he have some bars in here intertwined in that? Of course. He's Drake. He can rap. But it just sounded like just whining, him crying because LeBron, oh, you turned your back on me, LeBron, and trying to accuse, Kendrick of pretty much saying he's a gimmick and how dare you do this to me, and taking shots at the label, talking about the lawsuit and all this stuff. And it just, he going out bad. And he just needs to get it. He needs to stop mentioning this. Look, I know it's going to be all in his face because you still got the Super Bowl and we got this concert coming up. But at the end of the day, he needs to act like this stuff doesn't exist. Even though it does exist, he just needs to stop. Now, the part in the song that was kind of ridiculous to me is when he said that, they tried to bury me, but it wasn't me. It was a body double. Like, no, brother, that was you. That was you. That was you, Drake. You ain't got no body doubles. Oh, man, that boy crazy, man. What's wrong with him?
Nah, I don't know, bro.
What was your thoughts on the freestyle?
Honestly, I agree with a lot of your sentiments, bro. Like at the end of the day, bro, it's over, bro. Like they gotta let it go. At this point in time, man, I've always said that Drake just needs to go out of sight, out of mind. Just let this year pass, bro. Let this year pass, or just drop music. At the end of the day, you keep bringing this up, it's just only gonna highlight it more that you got defeated, and people are just gonna look at you crazy, man. You know what I mean? People are already looking at you crazy with this lawsuit. People looking at you crazy with you losing this battle and how you went out, especially on that Hard Part 6 song. Like, it was crazy to me. Like, you literally just threw up the white flag, even though you asked for it. Like, you're just every step you've been taking has been a contradiction to what you've been preaching. So like Drake, either drop some heat, drop some real music where it's not involved with this Kendrick shit or anything else, and just drop some bangers. Like summer's coming up, spring is coming up, quick. Like, and especially with everything that's happening in our society, and where people are, the anxiety's going up, and we're seeing a whole bunch of tragedies happening in our world, and and all that, man. Give us some heat, get us ready for the summertime, bro. If you do that, man, people, like, obviously it's not gonna go away, because you're right, we do have the Super Bowl coming up. You don't know if he has more music coming out around that week. Then you have a tour that'll probably end around, I think it ends in like June or July-ish. And then after that, I think Kendrick's gonna be quiet for a little bit. So, and then you can just take over, you know what I mean? And then J. Cole's coming out. So eventually people will get distracted. And sooner or later, as we all know, people will, I don't say they forget, but they'll move on. They'll move on, because there'll be something else that will distract us in music or whatever the case may be. But if you keep just lingering on this and this woe is me and playing this victim role, bro, no one's going to have sympathy for you, brother. You asked for this battle just as much as Kendrick did. You know what I mean? And then when you finally asked for it and he laid that ass whipping on you, don't play victim, bro. Like, don't play this whole blaming and all. It's not gonna work, bro. It's not gonna work. So at the end of the day, was the freestyle cool? It was cool. It was a Drake freestyle. It was that, 5 a.m. Toronto type of feel. It's cool. But at the end of the day, bro, just give us some hits or disappear for the year, bro. Because if you keep doing this, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. And it's only going to get worse if you're mobbing around. You got this Anita Max tour. Focus on that. You know what I mean? Just get away. Get out. That's the whole reason why you're getting out the States, bro. That's the whole reason. Because you ain't trying to be in the States when the Super Bowl is happening. The Super Bowl is a month and some change away, bro. This show is coming. Kendrick is coming, dog, and it's gonna be fucking epic. So, like,
I just have a question. I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
In this Anita Max concert, is he gonna be dressed up like her?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really paid attention to it.
Is he gonna be standing on stage dressed up like this character?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I just saw, like, I remember seeing on the internet that he got the chain and shit, but I don't know. I don't know what this whole Anita Max tour is. It's not like he has an album of that. I don't know what the fuck this shit is, but this is in Australia. This is overseas. I don't care. I'm focused on this Kendrick show coming up at the Super Bowl. I'm focused on his concert that's coming out here at the end of May. Like, I'm focused on that. I'm focused on trying to heal my girl so we can go to vacation. I'm not worried about Drake and Anita Max World Tour. I'm worried about my Raiders finding a player. I'm worried about my Lakers. I'm worried about the NFL draft. I got more things to worry about than the Anita Max World Tour. Like, have fun, Drake. But look, my brother, like, there's just more things important than you at this particular time. You've looked crazy going on these Twitch channels and shit. Like you're not helping yourself out with the culture conversation, bro. Because it's not like because in reality, bro, you know who you should be doing a Twitch stream with? DJ Academics. I strongly believe that. He's been having your back in the black community as much as anybody else. But yet you decide to go on an XQC Twitch or Kick channel that he don't even know anything about the music. Then you go on Aiden Ross's channel giving away stuff, which was for a good cause. Salute you, my brother. You know, you giving back to the community and cool. You trying to save face and shit. But Aiden Ross ain't the channel to go on. You could have went on Kai Cenat shit. You could have went on DJ Academic shit. There is many other options to help you for people to sway a little bit more on your side. Like, obviously, you're always going to have your fan base, your diehard fan base that are going to rock with you no matter what the fuck you do. But as far as the masses, you're not helping the conversation with the culture vulture shit and all that. Like, you're just not. Like, you know what I mean? You just keep making wrong decision after wrong decision after wrong decision that makes people just look at you even more crazier. So if you can't make the right decisions, then it's just best you go away and then come back with some heat. I don't know why anybody in his camp don't do that. Explain that to him, but
yeah, because they're all yes men.
What it is.
Look, man, I heard this song and all I thought about was Meet the Grams in LA and 616. Because that's all because everything he did, he confirmed.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. So
So,
hey man, I'm ready to move forward with this whole shit. I think he should be too.
yeah, I agree. It's time. Let it go.
No,
Let it go.
it's been time. It's been time. It's been time since November 17th, whenever that album dropped. It's been time.
Turn your TV off. All right, man. It's a big night tonight.
Yeah, man. Big night.
WWE
Couple.
Raw.
I know you trying to get off before this thing starts. So
Yeah.
5 o'clock, right? 5 o'clock, right? So
WWE
what should
Netflix debut.
I'm gonna watch it? You know, I'm gonna watch it. You know, I said I'm gonna watch it. So what should I be expecting with this? What should we be expecting for anybody that's newly tuning in?
there's a full card of matches that are going to be good. You got Jay Uso versus Drew McIntyre. They got they little long-standing beef, so that's going to be a good match.
Mhm.
You got CM Punk versus Seth Rollins.
That's like a pay-per-view match, ain't it?
Yeah, all of these are pay-per-view matches, but CM Punk. But this is the debut of Netflix, so they're gonna bring out all the stars.
Go out where, yeah.
You have the Women's World Championship, Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. This is probably gonna stamp their long-standing beef, and they'll probably end it right here. I don't know which direction they're gonna go. I wouldn't be surprised if Rhea Ripley wins tonight, but I would be surprised if Liv wins tonight. And then you have tribal combat for the Ula Fala, which is the red like thing that the Samoans wear, the tribal chief wears. Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa, which is Solo Sikoa is the Usos' younger brother, Jimmy and Jay Uso's younger brother, and Roman's cousin. And they're fighting for the right to be called tribal chief. I suspect, because The Rock will be here tonight, I do suspect that The Rock will get involved somehow. John Cena is going to be at this show tonight, so I think he's going to probably enter into the Royal Rumble. There is speculation that we are going to get John Cena versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, so that might be a big match. I do think we're going to get Roman Reigns versus The Rock at WrestleMania.
Is Roman Reigns going to be here tonight? Is he supposed to be there tonight?
Yeah, he's in the match with Solo Sikoa for the Ula Fala for the right to be called tribal chief, because it's OG bloodline, and then there's the new bloodline with Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and the Tonga brother Tommy, and Tony and I forgot the other one's name, but Tommy Tonga. They got their own little bloodline, and then there's the OG bloodline with Roman, the Usos, and Sami Zayn. So
where's this at? Where's this at? Where's the location at?
That's a good question. It's got it on here too. They are in Inglewood, California.
Oh, so they're at the new Clipper Stadium. Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
That should be dope.
Yeah,
they probably got some sick
exactly
shit going on in that shit.
Yeah, they said they're gonna have some new stuff, new entrances. The commentator booth's gonna be different, lighting, all that stuff. So
I'm excited. Yeah. Is this gonna be like commercial free since it's on Netflix, or they still gonna have like
that? I do not know. I don't know how they're gonna do this now that it's not on cable TV, but I'm sure networks commercials want to get paid. People want to get paid and get their product out there and all that stuff. So they're gonna figure out a way to weave it in. I don't know if they're gonna do like on USA, it used to do picture in picture. So it'd be a match going on, and then they would,
have the commercial on the bottom.
Yeah, have it small, and then they would have the commerrsal out. And then they would zoom back in on the match. So I don't know if they do that anymore, but I know Triple H said that it's going to be 3 hours, but there could be a possibility it could be 3 hours and 40 minutes. It could be.
They have no expectations for this.
Yeah, there's no time limit on this stuff because back in the day, they had
you only had that block. Yeah, you had that block. So so is that just for tonight, or is that for like the foreseeable future with these shows?
I think this is going to kick it off for the new era of WWE on Netflix.
Okay.
SmackDown now will be on USA. NXT is on CW now. So this is going to be the new era of WWE, and it's going to be interesting to see how this thing. Now, Roman Reigns, he won't be on Netflix all the time because he's a SmackDown wrestler.
You think that has to change though, right?
Eventually, I do think that Roman Reigns will get put on Raw eventually. because he is their biggest draw. But for right now, I think he stays on SmackDown. Uh, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this night goes, and how they go forward from here because they putting all their eggs in this bat in this one show. It's gonna be interesting to see where they go forward from here.
So what is your expectations with them being on Netflix? What do you see this doing for WWE?
Um, I mean, they're already the biggest wrestling company in the world, so it's not gonna do too much more than what they already are. Maybe get a couple of
Like, do you think this can help bring it back to the Attitude Era days where it was just like you knew like WWE was it, like it was low
Um,
key kind of in some ways competing with NFL a little bit. You know what I mean? A little
yeah,
bit.
I don't never want to put that type of expectation because that attitude era was so organic and
It was.
just we never seen nothing like that before. You know, like just like if you talk to anybody who grew up in the 80s, the golden era with Hogan and all them, they never saw nothing like that before. You know what I'm saying? So the attitude era in for all purposes, the attitude era was made because of WCW, because of what they were doing over there with NWO. So they had to understand because WCW was kicking their ass for what I think 14, 12, some odd weeks. Like they was whooping their ass.
Mhm.
Like WCW was killing them in the ratings because of the NWO stuff. But they had to change their whole image. DX, The Rock, Stone Cold, like that whole they had to change. They had to go more raunchy. They had to appeal to a more younger, teenage base and maybe even a more adult base. Whereas now they're trying to appease the families. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Now they have made it more PG-13. It's not PG like Vince had it, and that's kind of what diluted the product was him turning it to PG because John Cena and Make a Wish Foundation stuff. So he saw that was making money for him, and he was like, okay, well, we got to go towards the kids, which the kids are always going to love wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Fathers and sons and daughters and whatever who love wrestling, they take their kids to the wrestling events to watch. You know what I'm saying? To share that moment with them or whatever. But I do think that I'll never put the attitude era on them, but I do think that it is going to elevate. It will elevate it to put it in more people's eyes. I will say that.
Now I know. They came out and said that this isn't going to be rated R, but and they say they're going to still keep it PG-13 for the
Yeah.
most part. But do you think they do get at least a little bit more risque with anything? You know what I mean? Do you think
I,
they experiment a little bit more than what they couldn't do with cable TV? Like obviously not go super crazy, but even
yeah.
even even back then when it was the Attitude Era, like I think it was still PG-13 for the most part. But
I don't know. Back then, you look back at some of them stuff, you're like, damn, we was watching that.
yeah, but
Like
I'm
they
like
was
I'm
choke
like,
slamming females
but
and through
honestly,
tables.
true, but compared to what we see now on TV, I don't think none of that was honestly that bad now. When you really
Yeah,
think about it, though, that shit was tame compared to what some of the stuff we see on TV nowadays.
true. But I'm
Like
just saying in the
you got
wrestling
people that
sense.
are cussing on ESPN in the
Yeah,
daytime. Like,
yeah,
that
that's
ain't
true.
nothing. So,
That's true.
uh, so this is Netflix. So like,
I
yeah, I
don't
said,
think I don't think I think Triple H is still gonna keep it subtle. I don't because if you do it every week, like if Roman Reigns and them is doing a promo, he motherfucker, bitch ass motherfucker. You
not
know what I'm
like
saying?
that. No, not like that. Like I'm not like obviously like there was cussing here and there. I
Yeah.
think you might get a cuss word here and there where they
Mhm.
might not bleep it out, but I'm just talking about like some of the theatrics of it. Like, do you think they kind of go a little bit more further with it? You know what I mean? Like,
I
obviously you
think
had like
they'll of course have more of a leash. I mean, less leash than they had when they were on USA. Of
yeah,
course, you know
yeah.
what I'm saying. Netflix will allow them to do more, but I do still think Triple H wants to keep the product, subtle. I don't think he wants to just go all full out like, oh man, we,
Nah, I think even
hardcore matches and chainsaws. And,
Nah, I don't think they'll do like I agree with you. I don't think they'll do it now, but I could see them even if they were to go rated R. I think it'll be kind of a slower process. You kind of want to slowly ingratiate yourself into more of that kind of an era. You don't want to just like forcing on it. You want to kind of like you want it to naturally happen, kind of like an Attitude Era. Like it just naturally happened to that way where it just kind of fit. You know what I mean?
I think they want to keep the PG-13 because I think they want that middle ground because they still understand that kids still watch wrestling. regardless of
Yeah.
some of these wrestlers, they still kids buy the toys.
Yeah,
They
but
buy the
kids,
shirts.
kids also watch Twitter. Kids also
They
watch
do.
YouTube.
They
Kids
do, and
also like,
Instagram and
come
all
on,
that
man.
stuff.
Like
They
they do all that. Yeah,
TikTok
and
and all
we
that stuff.
all know
They
what be
do.
on them shits. Like,
They do. And
so
I'm not debunking that. I'm just saying, like, for
I hear you
real,
though.
man,
I hear you though. For
they're
the
proud.
true American family, yeah, like
Yeah, they want to keep that kind of that thing.
yeah, I feel you.
The core of it. They don't want to, just go overboard or whatever
Nah.
and turn away, families and stuff like
But I
that.
think that I agree with you though. I think I said I haven't really been watching it as much, but I will be tuning in tonight. But I'm very curious to see. I'm gonna try to pay more attention to it because I'm curious to see what this Netflix thing kind of creates with
Well,
WWE.
like I said, this is a perfect time for you to get involved because Royal Rumble is coming up.
Yeah.
So and the Royal Rumble match is always a good refresher for anybody who's haven't watched wrestling in a while. Now you're gonna get introduced to every superstar that you don't know who they are. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, absolutely. And
that so it's definitely a good time for you to watch now. Leading up to Royal Rumble.
oh yeah, for sure. And I said if I'm out here, I'm going to WrestleMania, dog. I gotta go to WrestleMania, bro. I've never been to a wrestling event in my life. That's one of the things I wish I would have done, especially in the Attitude Era. Like I remember back in the day, there was a thing, I don't know if it was a pay-per-view or a Raw where I think The Rock and Stone Cold fought, and I really wanted to go and I couldn't make it. So if I'm out here, I'm definitely gonna go, and I'm gonna ask everybody and my mama for tickets. So tickets is expensive as shit. God damn.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Shit.
But yeah, man, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. So
for sure.
all right, man. You got anything else?
Honestly, man, nah, man. Honestly, I really don't have nothing else. Do you?
No.
Oh, you know what? I do. I want to have a conversation real quick. We'll get off before 5. I want to have a conversation quick about this Drawn Ennis shit. I hear what you're saying with your comment. Okay, yeah, okay. It's a cool fight. But bro, it gets a point in time with his career where we don't need just it's a cool fight. We need the fucking hits, my boy. Like Drawn Ennis, I get it. Drawn Ennis is a great boxer. But bro, that fight is not what the fans want. You had an opt to take a fight that the fans potentially wanted, but then circumstances happen where that didn't happen. Some people blame you, some people blame the other guy. But from what I'm hearing, a lot of people blame you for the reason why that fight ain't happened. So I get it. It's tough in your division where there's not a lot of marquee names that could gravitate to having a super mega fight. There is the one guy in Terrence Crawford who isn't around anymore. He's looking for a bigger fish to fly. But this for Drawn Ennis, it's I'm not feeling it, bro. I'm sorry. I hear what you're saying, but it's not something that I'm excited to watch.
Look, I'm not sitting here saying it's gonna be the greatest fight of all times and nothing, but I'm just saying these two were supposed to fight, I think, last year, and Emmett got hurt. So, and both of them are both young, up and coming 147 fighters. Look, I'm not saying that this is gonna define Drawn Ennis, but he needs a fight like this personally. He needs to get a good win. He does.
He needs to become a superstar, and this ain't gonna help him become a superstar.
That's
all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Hopefully, he'll unify the belts, and he'll go to 154.
Yo, is that Devin Haney fight real on Black? Is that real?
Yeah, he's supposed to say he's fighting in March.
Oh my god!
I think he's fighting Brian Norman at 147.
On Black?
Yeah.
On BOK?
Not the not the website where you go dating.
No, I'm not talking about. I know ain't that the one Terrence Crawford was on like a while ago?
Yeah, Black Prime. Yeah.
Come on, Haney. Who he fighting again?
I think he's fighting Brian Norman Jr.
Brian Norman,
the kid with this other 147 that everybody thought that Drawn Ennis was gonna fight him instead, but that fell through.
How you feel about that one?
It's a good fight. I mean, he's Devin Haney stepping up at 147. It's a good fight for him. They measure where he's at.
When is that? March? It's gonna be March.
Mm-hmm.
Is that after that? Obviously, that's after the Tank fight, right?
Mm-hmm. They said March 12th.
Oh, shit, I ain't gonna be watching it.
We'll see. They haven't announced the opponent, but I just saw a video of Brian Norman. He was jump roping and he was watching Devin Haney fight. So it's a speculation that it's him. So
for sure. For sure.
All right, man. Who's your flowers of the week, man?
Flowers, man. Honestly, I ain't really got nothing this week, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't got no flowers this week.
Well, I got one, man. I'm gonna give my flowers to Mike Evans, man, for getting his 11th 1,000-yard season, tying Jerry Rice. I think he's one of the more underrated wide receivers. A lot of people go back and forth if he's a Hall of Famer. Look, we could argue if he's a first ballot or not, whatever. But to have consistent 1,000-yard receiving yards, come on, man, you got to give that man some love. Obviously, it ain't that easy because Jerry Rice is the only one that got 11 of them things. So he tied the greatest of all time. So what are we doing here? So shout out to Mike Evans and shout out to Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they didn't have to do this, but they had pretty much had the game sealed, and they threw a pass for him to get 5 yards so he can get his, I think, $3 million incentives if he got 1,000 yards. So shout out to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for doing that too.
Oh, I do got one. Shout out to Derrick Rose. Shout out to Derrick Rose.
Yes,
he had his D Rose day with the Bulls, and then they announced that they will retire his number 1 jersey with Chicago next year. He did open up a flower store, I think, in Chicago as well. Congratulations to him. He was one of my favorite players. Well deserved. He should have definitely been an NBA champion if it wasn't for that knee injury. So shout out to you, my brother, man. I hope you're doing well, man, and salute.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, shout out to him, man.
That's another one I didn't really have too much of. I really ain't got a hell no this week. I don't know.
My hell no goes to all you poor excuse Bengal fans out there that really thought the Kansas City Chiefs was going to let you in. You think it's our obligation to let you into the playoffs? You should have won in September. How about that? Or October. Maybe even November. You won. You looking at us like we funny because we sat our players, because we locked up everything. Go to hell. Okay? Go straight to hell. Have fun in Cancun.
Insane, bro. That's crazy, bro.
Have fun in Cancun. Maybe next year. You got anything?
Nah, man. Honestly, I really ain't got
nothing. My God, bro.
Oh, I lied. I do have something. The hell no goes to the shorty that slept with 100 men and now it's trying to sleep with 1,000. You is fucking insane, man. Yeah.
Who's this woman?
Huh?
Who is this woman?
So there's a woman. She's an OnlyFans chick. She slept with 100 dudes in a day. Now she's trying to sleep with 1,000 dudes in a day. Like, she gets my hell nah. That her cooter cat is going through some trauma. Like, that is crazy.
That's nasty.
You need Jesus, man. For real.
You get a hell no. You definitely get a hell no for that.
Man, what the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass on.
Yeah. All right, man. Maybe Bengals want to make the Super Bowl or make the playoffs next year. Maybe they can drink some Magnet sports drink.
Magnet, the ultimate sports drink. Are you ready to take your performance to the next level? Do you want a sports drink that eliminates the muscle cramps and fatigue when working out or training? Meet Magnet, the sports drink designed for athletes who refuse to settle for mediocrity. I know you're asking why Magnet. It's power-packed electrolytes and rehydrates and restores balance with their scientifically formulated blend with magnesium that fights fatigue and boosts endurance. It has natural ingredients made with real fruit extracts and no artificial colors or flavors because your body deserves the best. It has delicious flavors like mixed fruit and watermelon that keep you revitalized and ready for action. It will boost your performance with essential vitamins and minerals. Magnet fuels your workouts, helping you crush your goals. Join the Magnet movement, whether you're training, competing, or simply staying active. Magnet is your go-to refreshment for peak performance. You can order it now on a direct link at drinkmagnet.com. Also, use promo code Cris and Mal to get $5 off your purchase. So shout out to Magnet. You know what I mean? Been rocking with us for a minute. Use the promo code, save a little bread.
Also, if you want to get some Cris and Mal merch, go to any of our social media platforms, click on the Printify link, and you will see our shirts. Black and white Cris and Mal t-shirts with the tap in and the QR code in the back. Well, all of our social media outlet information on there and our email address. So go ahead and get you a shirt, $25. Plus the shipping makes it $29. But yeah, show your support, get your shirt. Tag us when you get your shirt so we can shout you out on the show. And if you want to donate to the Cris and Mal podcast, you can hit us at our Cash App, Cris and Mal podcast. Whatever you want to donate, we greatly appreciate it, man. We ain't trying to break your bank. You know what I'm saying? We just, asking for a nice little small donation. That's it. Whatever streaming platform you use, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, whatever you use to listen to your podcast on, Cris and Mal podcast is available. Also, first time watch on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, that like button, and notification button. So when we go live on Mondays at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and when we go live on Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you can jump in the lives like Mark is today, talk about these topics, give your opinion. We want to hear from you. We want you guys to be a part of this show just as much as we are. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And whatever social media platform you use, whether it be X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and Twitch, whatever you use to do your social media on, Cris and Mal is available. Just follow us at Cris and Mal. We will follow you back. We're just some regular guys who like to talk sports and music and movies and all kinds of various other things. So go ahead and follow us. Also, hit us up if you have critiques, if you have feedback, or if you have a question or a topic that you want us to bring up on the show. We'll check out the question. If we like it, we'll bring it up. We'll shout you out because we want to show love to those who show love to us. So go ahead and hit us up via email, DM, or hit our mentions, and we will get back to you as soon as we see that question or topic. All right, good people. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. We will be back Wednesday night to probably go over the college football games and go more deep dive into NFL playoffs and, probably give our picks for wild card weekend. And yeah, man, should be a good show, man. So tune in.
Random news will be back too.
Yeah, man. All right, good people. Until Wednesday.